It's a lot. Oh, sorry. I'm the only one enjoying that one. Wait a minute. I don't know if the word enjoy is correct.
I was about to say, what were you doing under the table?
Well,
Ba-dum-bum-bum.
see Stephanie licking her lips, don't you?
Whatever.
Wait a minute. That's Bella licking her lips.
Oh, it's bad that you can't tell the difference. Well,
So good morning, ladies, gentlemen,
Stephanie's tongue is rough. For
bilinguals.
Morning.
Morning.
I hear we're getting some rain today.
Lovely Monday morning.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
What time are we getting rain today?
They say 1:00. I'm looking at the current radar.
Cool. I got to go out there and
I don't see any rain.
take that plastic and stuff up. Philip wanted to come over here and get it ready, and then now it might be another week or so, and I can't just leave my yard looking like that. It looks like poo.
Y'all growing some dirt?
Man, I was trying to get that pool going, and there's just so many moving parts, so to speak, and trying to get the yard leveled and all that kind of jazz.
You're a good man, Charlie Brown.
And it's aggravating. It's all get out.
Oh yeah, they're real fun to put up.
Yes,
even funner to take down.
Funner.
No, taking them down. It depends on how you're trying to do it. Like I took down a 36-foot pool one day, but we had no intentions on keeping it. I was, working on those houses for real estate companies at the time.
Yeah.
So it was really simple to take an axe, split the side of it, watch the 14 dead squirrels, the possums, a couple of rabbits, all that stuff shoot right through the. Yeah.
You're like really loud in my
I'm
headphones.
trying to fix. You're just gonna have to keep your mouth shut, young lady. You see me tweaking stuff.
Tweaky.
I was just letting you
Good
know
Lord,
so you could know what
complaining.
to tweak.
Do you think you could have done it like after we were talking?
I took down
I forget it's the redneck.
I took down a 4'11" Asian little person one time.
And were you what it was that you were trying to do?
Well,
Oh, because I thought it was really just for sushi rolls.
Funny. You know what's funny about that? Her name was Susie.
Her name was Susie, fool.
Oh, sorry.
There's a difference in Susie and sushi.
She smelled like fish.
Oh, you better stop.
So
has anybody figured out that Mike's an idiot this early in the morning, or is it just us?
For her, yeah.
Well, I'm pretty much going for the 24/7 thing.
Yeah, you never cut it off. You can tell.
Yeah. Well, you've known me a long time.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I don't know if that's for some reason I have this trilingual, bilingual crap stuck in my head. Mike made a joke about it a little while ago. Now I can't stop.
Now you're steadily thinking about it, right?
Well, I don't know that I'm thinking about it, but I'm trying to figure it out. That's faux show.
Yeah, we helped some friends put a pool up one time, and it was one of those that has the vinyl. Well, the whole thing is vinyl, and you put the poles up. It didn't have the metal walls. Let me tell you, that thing was a pain in the arse.
You've had to put the what kind up?
It was the vinyl kind that had the plastic poles, and
yeah, that's the Intex brand.
Those are a pain in the arse.
Oh, I'm sure.
And then when they moved, they were giving it to us.
Right.
And Travis was like, I don't want that thing. I don't want to have to fool with that.
Mm-hmm.
So it just got left behind at the house that they moved out of.
Right.
They couldn't take it.
Yeah, because of the slope in my backyard. And it's not even a level straight slope, if that makes any sense. Like it's a wavy.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like if it was left to right straight and it only sloped from the house to the water, that would be great. But my problem is it's not. It's all sorts of weird wavy. And everybody's arguing with me about saying I just need to have somebody come in, scrape it, flatten it, straighten it, then fill it in a little bit. And I'm getting a guy out here and I'm just going to let him do it.
That's probably the best thing to do, dude.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, because the headache of me continuing.
Yeah, I mean,
trying to figure it out.
There's so much work to be done if you don't have the tools and resources.
Yes.
So that's it.
And that's where we're at.
You could have always put an in-ground pool in.
Yeah, that's not possible, Steph.
I know, it was a joke.
Oh,
Jeez.
okay. I just had to make sure you were kind of with me on that.
Actually, he's got a huge in-ground pool. Most people call it a lake.
Made that joke yesterday. I'm like, I still can't understand why we're just not on a raft in the middle of that lake.
Yeah, and BJ's has some nice. It has one of them big floaters that like 4 people can get on, and it has a cooler at every person. It's pretty cool, and it's like $54.
Right.
It's one of those like you would take down when you go river rafting.
Mm-hmm.
God, talking about that, did y'all see the Memorial Day river stuff up at Helen?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God, it was packed in like sardines. Y'all didn't see any of those pictures? They were hilarious. Because usually when you go tubing or rafting, whatever you want to call it this week, you get everybody smiling and woot hooting and hollering and having a good time
and pulling holding the beer up.
Well, this time in Helen, it was it was back to back to back. They were crammed in. It was gorgeous. I'm gonna have to find a picture for you.
Well, speaking of that, so a year plus ago, when we had, I don't know how to word it, several of us had talked about putting in and tubing from the Almond Road kayak ramp to the park in Porterdale. So for over a year now, I've been just saying, I'm going to do this. We're going to do this. Last summer we were supposed to do it. We didn't. So I reached out to Holly probably about 4 months ago and said, this is what I wanted to do. Would you like to turn it into an event? She forgot about it. So I called her again a couple days ago and I said, listen, August 27th, let's do this. So she went ahead and goes, oh my God, I forgot. I know we talked about it. I forgot. So I said, look, if we turn it into, I said, it doesn't have to be a fundraiser, but if we're going to have my bus and other people's bus, there'll have to be diesel paid for. So she's going to turn it into the canine event, and me and her went back and forth over names, but it's going to be called the doggy paddle or dog paddle.
No,
and it's going to be an annual event. So what we're doing is I'm going to have an inverter on the bus that will run the air compressor. We're going to have a trailer. There's going to be another bus. So August 27th, anybody that has a raft, tractor trailer, tube, anything you want, a kayak, a canoe, a styrofoam cooler that you think you can fit into, a barrel that you could go over Niagara Falls. I could care less. If you're floating, you could put floaties on and float with us. But the same principle that everybody does tubing in Helen, we're all putting in at this location. The buses are going to go back down into Porterdale. It's a 4-hour float. So for 4 hours, we're just going to be paddling along with just as many of us as we can be. And we're only saying a $5 donation because that'll help go towards the charity and also, help pay for diesel and waters because, that many hours. So I planned on having a canoe. I kept trying to buy a canoe and I never could find the one I want. I'm still looking. But I was going to ask Ashley Scanner if I can borrow her parents because I want to put a cooler in the middle of the canoe I'm in for bottled waters.
Yeah, that's it.
And and then, well, I don't know what you're speaking of. Refreshments and we need to. I'm going to take a little raft behind us too, and tie it to the canoe or something, or put a bag in the canoe or something. We just don't want to leave any trash, But I think this would be cool. 4 hours with a bunch of us floating. Mike, I need to know, are you coming?
What weekend again was it? I'm sorry.
August 27th. There's nothing on our schedules.
No, sounds like a plan, man.
I just think it'd be awesome.
I got to find me something to float in other than like one of my Army buddies or anything.
Philip Snow yesterday started looking at, and he's reached out to Rob to see about getting these prices too. A 48-inch tractor trailer, John Deere tractor, whatever, inner tube. The big black ones, the big thick rubber black ones.
What's it going to be black?
So they'll be, because that's what color they come in. But it'd be more durable than just like the $19 floaty that you would get from like a Walmart where you have to worry about popping it.
Yeah.
Black inner tube lives matter.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're holy.
Or at least whole.
Well, if you have several of them, it'd be holy.
I will. I
think it'd be a great day.
It sounds like fun.
Has nothing to do with politics. It has nothing to do with anything other than you and your family. If you want you and your kids, I highly recommend adults only.
Yeah.
The only reason I say that, and this is kid friendly. This is 100% kid friendly. But if you are the parent that has those kids that you have to scream at the whole time,
yeah, you're not gonna have fun.
You're not gonna have fun because you're gonna be too busy making sure your kid's not drowning.
Right.
No, I'd just use a airsoft gun or a paintball gun or something.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be awesome. It's just a matter of, trying to get it happening.
Yeah, we have 3.
Wow.
3 of those.
One of our listeners, Kevin, just sent this. That we hopefully will not look like that going down the river.
That's the picture I was trying to find.
Holy
That's Helen.
cow.
Yeah, that was Helen this year.
That's awesome.
That's Helen this year. That is the
and I know Helen has their pink floats and whatever.
Yeah, pink and blue.
With the water being down too is what sucks because we were up there about a year or so ago when me and Crystal would just there's a bar. It's a little biker type picnic bar area, whatever you want to say. It's all where you eat on the deck and look over the river. It was so full that we were watching people paddle and get stuck, paddle and get stuck. It was unbelievable how many people were sitting there stuck on the rocks, bumping into another person stuck on the rocks. Yeah.
I'm one of these guys that, I don't go to Helen very much. When we were growing up, we did.
Yeah,
remember, we go up there and we would camp in the woods.
I did, but I never went tubing up there. That's one thing I've never done.
We would go tubing, but up there, there's like a hotel,
right?
That German restaurant, and maybe 2 or 3
other
stores.
Back then.
That was about it.
Now it's so congested, though, that you have to really be careful when you go up there.
And every store you go through is it's like going through a Pakistan's convenience store right after delivery showed up. I mean, it's just crazy. There's so many trinkets and vape
they're trying to make
and e-cigarettes and American flags and German flags
and Georgia Bulldog stuff.
And exactly.
Georgia Tech, a little bit of Georgia Tech stuff, but mostly Bulldog. And they're not very wheelchair friendly. I will say that.
Because it's packed.
Yeah. Well, not only that, they're small.
Hey,
what?
Who cares? I don't have a wheelchair.
Yeah, but I have a daughter in a wheelchair.
Mike, you got a wheelchair?
Yeah.
Do you use it most of the time or something?
Not really. I'm just going to side with Stephanie.
Oh, okay. Because I could care less.
Of course you could care less.
As soon as she said it, I knew what she was talking
I'm trying to go down there and eat in the ugly troll, not eat with the ugly troll.
Bite me.
Bam. Bam. Do, 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 do.
She's ready to poke me in the eye with a pencil.
Now, you know that German restaurant, the one that hangs over the side like you're talking about?
Yeah, that hangs over the river.
Yeah. And it was so funny. As last time I was there, I was with a young lady, and I was showing her how Germans eat,
what, forks?
And no.
They got chopsticks.
They do it like picnic style.
Wait a minute. Germans use chopsticks, but they're steel, industrial type. Because Germans make, things that last longer, like Volkswagens.
All right, there. So
I'm just messing with you.
I know. I was doing the.
Gonna show how Germans eat.
Because
what do they do? Shove it directly up their ace to get it over with? And cut out all the middle.
It's like a picnic type. You eat sushi a certain way. You guys probably don't.
Sushi a certain way. I don't eat sushi.
Sushi is supposed to be enjoyed a certain way. So German food as well. And
wait a minute. I eat sushi and drink water so that the flavor of the food doesn't get messed up.
How's that taste?
Let me hold on. So when I make sure I eat sushi, I don't drink sodas and that because I want to really taste the food. The problem with German food is I need to drink like gasoline because I've never had any German food that tastes worth a crap.
I don't think I've ever had any German food.
I went to
period.
that place down in Old Town Stone Mountain, you know, that's right there at the entrance going into the park. That was kind of the worst schnoodle, crappy crap ever. All my boys want to ride there after church. Let's ride there and do lunch. I said, okay. And I bragged. So this one girl wanted to ride. I was like, yeah, sure, let's go. We got there and we both looked at each other and was like, what the hell are we doing here?
Yeah, that's it's got German pictures on the wall.
I was looking at the ice cream shop across the street going, I get a hot dog and some Baskin Robbins, man, because this is horrible.
And just call each other Heil Schnudelwurst.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I lived in Germany for 3 years, and I cleaned my plate every single place I ever went.
I would, too, with Ajax and Comet.
No, man, I'm talking about with my tongue.
Ooh.
Food was amazing over there.
I don't know what planet you were on.
The same one. Same one. I rarely travel to
the only good stuff come out of Germany might be out of the sewer system.
Farfanugan.
Yeah.
BMW,
bless you.
Porsche.
Yeah, the cars, automotive, no food.
Oh no, Hitler. He was a military genius. Up until
so was Napoleon.
Up until the time he made that decision.
Up until the time that he said, "No more Jews." Yeah, he was a great guy in that pink dress he wore and that little weird black mark on his lip. Was that a mole or was it actually supposed to be a mustache?
Up until the time he made the decision to get rid of an entire religion.
Yeah, like the pyramids. That was great too, except for the fact that there was all them slaves they had to have to make them.
Look, you know what keeps those blocks?
How about the fact they were beating these guys and killing them, putting another block right there? I mean, it was some great architect and all, but the whole fact that for, a few hundred years they were killing people to achieve it, that was a little strange.
Do you know how they got those pieces that close and the mortar and stuff? Seriously.
Go ahead.
Israelis.
Oh, okay.
They just would grind their bodies up. Wow.
That's it's funny when you look back in history and you go, man, that was so blah, blah, blah. But what it took was insane. Like, Hell on Wheels. We're watching them build the train, the tracks and all, the rail system, if you will. And it's insane because at the time slavery was over and the black man got treated like crap. The Irishman got treated like crap. The Chinese man got treated like crap. Every white guy that was not an important person got treated like crap. I mean, the rich man was the only person that didn't get treated like crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, he got treated like crap too.
I mean, the whole what it took to build the rail system, it was insane. It was just insane.
But it's fascinating in the same.
But it's just crazy because you watch all these really cool things built, and it's like, holy cow!
Watching that show and watching some other shows, I just watched the whole series of like Spartacus and stuff like that. Do you guys ever notice this, that money or the currency or money that they use in these shows, it doesn't seem to fit right? Like everybody knows this soda costs about what? $1.50, right?
Well, probably 22 cents maybe.
No, I'm talking about retail.
Right.
So this is about $1.50, right? Okay, so it's weird that this costs $1.50, like in the movie Hell on Wheels or Spartacus or something like this. Let's say it's half a denarii or whatever, right? Then they go to this one and it's 50 denarii or 50 pieces of silver. It never seems like they get the money part right.
Yeah. Well, how do we really truly know? Like, me, I just finished up Marco Polo, and it kind of goes back to the Egyptians when I hear people try to talk about slavery. And all you keep hearing is this white black crap in the United States. That's only been over the last 200 so years. But you're watching Marco Polo that was back
1700s.
I mean, just good Lord. And it was. You get back to when these popes and the knights and the kingdoms and that time frame, and in Mongolia, they had their slaves and they were killing people. I mean, like they were wiping out entire cities, you either bowed to them or they wiped out your entire city of thousands of people.
Oh, yeah.
So it blows my mind that here we are in today's times and everybody's screaming racism and trying to blame somebody for something stupid, even though you're sorry but can get up and go to work every day. And then you watch something that took place thousands of years ago, and you watch stuff that happened, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, and you see that slavery was something way, way before
our country.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it just blows my mind. And it wasn't white and black.
No.
Like, these are people in Asia and China that are from different places. Man, it was insane. Like, when you really look back at some of the Marco Polo stuff, you're just going, holy cow.
That's a very well done. I don't know the accuracy of it. I don't know if it's perfectly accurate, close to accurate, blah, 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 blah. But it's a really good show.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
I mean, let's just look at facts. Moses. Let's go back to Moses, would you? Didn't have a whole lot of black-white problems then, did we?
Wealthy and poor.
I mean, this has been happening for a long time.
Yeah, I just looked it up. I guess Marco Polo is based on the man Marco
It's
Polo.
not the swimming pool game that you thought it was.
Marco.
Stephanie. We started talking about Marco Polo, and Stephanie goes, "Are you for real? That's real? I thought it was just something we did in the pool." I'm like, "No, Stephanie.
Like sharks and minnows.
We actually had to have this conversation."
Yeah, well, anyways, he was born in 1254 and died in 1324. So I was way off even when I said 1700s.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. I didn't know.
1700s would be more along the lines of the discovery of the United States, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be right? The Mayflower, all that, wouldn't that be around the 1700s?
That was more 1500.
Was it that far back? See, I didn't know for sure.
Columbus came here in 1492, and then there was a big hubbub for a while there because the Indians were considered absolute savages, and we think of the ships coming across as being explorers, but in reality, it was a military.
That's why I kind of get aggravated when I keep hearing all this stuff that's been happening over the last weekend. Really, because let's get down to. I remember these things called my ancestors that were Cherokee Indians that were getting killed by the masses all up and down the north to southeast coast,
right?
And we're having to hide in caves because they were just getting wiped out in massacres.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
There wasn't a pissed off cop doing this, and there wasn't a pissed off drug dealer doing this. This was people just coming across these state lines, just killing you because of who you were,
and because they wanted your land.
I don't see any of us standing up for our heritage, screaming, Indian lives matter, and freaking massacring people in the streets.
Do things get better when you actually protest like that, or do they get worse?
Here's my problem that I was trying to
question
preach
for the ages.
When I was trying to preach it a little bit this weekend, trying to tell people that they need to open their eyes and see the bigger picture. The problem in which I have is by you can't scream, we're protesting over stop the violence when our protest is causing violence.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can't say we're going to hold this peaceful protest when it wasn't. I mean, in some areas it may have been, but everything you're seeing on television, the Dallas was horrible. There was people doing stuff up in Nashville. We had some friends that went to Nashville and said, we come up for a vacation and look, there's a picture of this huge mob going on out there on one of the intersections. That was in the main drag, the entertainment area of Nashville. Not like at the Capitol.
Yeah.
The main drag that's the historical music city, that's where they decided to protest instead of doing it in the Capitol area.
That area is already crowded
enough
as
right.
it is.
So my point which I'm making is think of all the hundreds and hundreds, and if you look at it across the United States, thousands of people that had nothing to do with this, but yet were trapped in their cars being tormented by people.
Yeah. And look at the protests, some of the protesters that are standing there screaming in the cops' faces, just egging them on.
Yes.
You know, that's
some of my boys that are city of Atlanta had just sent some messages saying, you have no idea how hard it was to stand there with people spitting in our face.
Yeah.
Calling, and just hold for a second. Calling, I just didn't want you to keep saying yeah when I was talking. Okay. Calling their mothers whores, calling their parents garbage, saying hateful things like, we hope your kids die. And that was being screamed in their faces. And some of them, you know, my buddies that were sending the messages said it's really horrible because they're white and they're standing next to a black police officer. And not only were they, meaning the white cops, having to listen to this, they said it was horrible having to watch the black cops looking at their nationality, if you will, screaming complete hate at them face to face.
Yeah.
And they said, you have no idea how hard it is to have to just turn it off.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you're trained though. You receive training in that stuff. We in the military, we did as well. So.
You can say that all day long, but at what point between the heat, the lack of water, to let's stay focused on what we're talking about. At what point was it too much to bear? How much strength mentally do you have?
Well, you're a trained professional.
You can keep saying trained, but think about it.
You can say you're trained all day long, but when it comes down to being right there in front of you, you know, that's completely different.
No, but you're a trained professional.
I don't quit saying trained, because that's just not even realistic.
Have you ever been trained to do it?
15 minutes, 4 hours of it. It's gonna get on you. It's gonna get on. I don't need you being a dick right now. I'm trying to prove a point. This is straight out of the messaging that's been said. That, do you realize how hard it is to have to stand there and listen to this for hours?
I do. Yeah, I do.
You do, but the listeners, Mike, I'm on a radio show. I'm trying to paint a very good image for our listeners.
Okay, well, I'm trying to paint an image too, but apparently you're not allowed to have an opinion.
No, but what you're trying to do is make it out like, oh, it's no big deal for these cops. It is a big deal for these cops.
Are you a cop that's ever received that training?
But when you get messages from
Mike, I'm talking to the cops that are saying this.
Well, then they're not receiving a lot of training, because I can list 4,000 soldiers that go through this training. Y'all don't look at each other and cut eyes.
No, I am going to look at you like that, because you're actually making something sound stupid when I'm trying to tell you. When I'm telling you, I'm trying to tell you what these gentlemen have said.
Who was it? Of course you won't tell me, so never mind.
Why in the hell would I just start over a radio show, start telling out these people's names?
Tell me in private.
Anyways, everybody just keep all that in mind. And don't listen to old dickhead over here. We're trying to sit here and paint the image of how sad it is that these guys are having to block an interstate.
Well, I don't think it's sad. I think these guys are well trained, and I think they're doing their job, and that's what they get paid to do. I mean, if a police officer is complaining about that, then there's some additional issues there. But I'm trying to tell you that the police officers I know, I'm looking for the video of a friend of mine. He's a Georgia State trooper. And of course he's upset and all, but the training that you receive prepares you to deal with this type of stuff.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Who says that?
Apparently you.
Yeah, because I've been through that training.
Right.
I used to give that training to soldiers that had to deal with.
So other than your arrogance, I'm telling you what most of these cats are saying. Do you realize how hard it is knowing you just have to sit there and bite your lip?
I feel very unfortunate for those police officers that have not apparently received the proper training.
Thank you. That just sounded so good for the show. We're going to go to a commercial, everybody. We'll be right back. Sorry, everybody.
You know, Mommy always gets chocolate all over her face. Chew that one up first. Come on, hurry, we're going back.
All right, everybody, we're back. We're going to talk about something that means absolutely nothing, so nobody can have any fucked up opinions, and we'll go from there. So on TMZ, you know, there's always stupid stuff going on with that. We're always dying laughing at all these just weird things that were happening over the weekend. And for instance, you know, the young man that had passed away from he played Scottie on Star Trek, the new Star Trek, right?
Oh yeah,
the new commercials for the movies coming out. Well, we already know that he had already filmed the movie before he passed away. Do you know there's not one spot of him in the commercial?
Oh wow.
You know, typically there's the I'm giving it all they got, because it's such a iconic catchphrase, so to speak.
Yeah.
That normally they're gonna put that in the commercials, you know, because all the commercials for movies always try to pop off the best scenes or little teasers of the best scenes.
Yes.
And how odd is it? I was sitting there making the crack, like, they've cut him out of the commercials. And I'm then curious, are they cutting him out of the movie?
Yeah, that's what I was.
I mean, was there maybe a couple of scenes that weren't finished filming or something? You know, kind of like when Paul Walker from Fast and Furious?
Yes.
You know, they had to dub in some video and stuff like
Didn't
that.
they like CGI with his brother? Or
Yeah,
something?
man. And some of it you can kind of see. My problem with Fast and Furious is there's too much computer stuff. It's not realistic at some point. And I know you're supposed to be watching fantasy. I know you're supposed to be, you know, sucked into the story. But at the time that it becomes unbelievable, here's my view. And this is just my view. If I want to watch unbelievable, I'm watching Star Wars. Or I'm watching Superman. Or I'm watching Spider-Man.
Something
or
you know is fantasy.
Something that's supposed to be funny. Something that's supposed to be fantasy. But when I'm watching something car-wise, I expect to see a little more real.
Yeah, because, you know, you can't go to a dealership and get one of them cars that will jump from bridge to bridge or anything like that.
That'd be cool if you could, though.
Yeah, it would be cool if you could. Or you do a jump and the car rolls in the air and then lands back on its wheels. Yeah.
A Rob Dyrdek special.
You know, the
Yeah.
thing, I'm sure Fast and Furious did a bunch of stupid stuff over the years. Don't get me wrong. But the biggest one that has always stuck out, of course, before the last movie, because the last movie was so far-fetched that it was unbelievable. But
yeah.
The movie before his death, something along the lines of they're going down this bridged interstate, 2 lanes going one direction, 2 lanes going one direction, this huge gap between the actual 2 bridges, and the fact that they're riding on top of a car or something. I don't even remember what he was on top of. Vin Diesel, one of the guys, jumped from one side of the interstate that a car's traveling 70 miles an hour one direction, and he jumps over to land on something else that's traveling 70 miles an hour the other direction. Nowhere, A, humanly, he can never jump that far. B, is if the car you're on's traveling 70 miles an hour forward while the car on the opposite lane's traveling 70 miles an hour backwards, you trying to get your time in where you're going to be able to jump, your body's going to slow down, I guess, a little bit in the air because you don't have something physically pushing you forward anymore. But I'm not too sure about that impact of you hitting another car traveling 70 miles an hour the opposite direction.
Yeah.
You know, is that like throwing an egg and praying that it doesn't shatter? I just don't.
Vin Diesel's head in an egg. That's pretty close.
I just don't get it. Okay, but it's supposed to be make-believe.
I like when they do this stuff. That particular one, wasn't that the one where they were in Brazil and the safe?
I can't tell you if it was or what. Yeah, I mean, look, all these storylines kind of run together.
Yes, they do. I tell you what, the one where they drag the safe.
Yeah, that was funny.
With two like chargers, you know. And
yes, that was insane too.
Yeah.
And everybody, they're shooting like, you know, A-10s rolling in on them.
So how about this? Think about this for a second. If this thing is that big, because one of the scenes, right, it's being pulled behind like a Honda.
Yeah.
So
a moped.
So you're envisioning what I'm talking about. The guys go around a curve and you see this thing flipping. The problem is the mass, the overall size of this safe and the mass, when it slings, if you think of a skier behind a boat, the boat is bigger than the skier. Let's just go ahead and call it that. We're not stupid. The problem is that safe is bigger than the car. So when that safe swings left or swings right, it's going to pick the rear end of that car up and snatch it left or snatch it right. And that's, of course, if it doesn't rip the towing whatever off the back of the car. I mean, it's kind of like I took my Dodge Dakota. It was a king cab. It had the 318 in it. Motor transmission wise, it was suitable for pulling my dad's 28-foot cabin cruiser Bayliner, right? It pulled it. You know, the brakes weren't that great, so you'd have to stop a little sooner. But the problem I had was the mass of this boat was bigger than my truck. So there was times when we'd hit a bump, man, it was kind of throwing my little truck around a little bit. And the Dodge Dakota's not, you know, a very small truck, but at the same time, it's not as big as the boat. So then it raises that question, kind of like when you see an F-250 four-door, four-wheel drive long bed pulling one of those fifth-wheel Raptors that are like 32 feet long. I mean, I know in your mind you say it can do that, but the object that you're pulling is so much larger than yours, it just seems that if something bad happens, it's just going to snatch your vehicle right off the road.
Or
that's my point.
Yeah, it would just like sling it around, you know.
Sling it around, which is where in this movie I'm seeing this safe and I'm going, oh, this is too far-fetched.
Yes, it is.
It's too friggin' far-fetched. It's stupid at that point.
Yeah, but yet we go watch them.
Yeah, but we go watch them.
Yeah, we pay good money.
Yeah, we spend lots of good money.
Yeah, we spend lots of money on the popcorn and the, I'm
Heck
shutting
yeah.
up now.
Well, and everybody keeps talking about the cost of movies too. So,
Oh my God.
I mean, if you think about it, somebody had sent something the other day who was raising hell over what it costs to go to a movie. They're like, by the time you do this, and the thought was, it kind of reminds me of, say, the Kid Rock concert when he says, I'm only going to charge $20.
Yeah.
I'll cut my pay a little bit because I got enough money. So at what point do we get back to realistically, why should a movie cost $14?
Well, look at all the graphic effects that they have in it now. The cost of that. The actors, they're wanting more money now.
That's kind of where I was going.
mean, so look at the expense of the movie, and that's why the movie ticket is so much now.
Does Brad Pitt truly have to be paid that much money? Does Jim Carrey have to be paid that much money? Angelina Jolie, does she really have to be paid that much money?
She don't look so good these days.
I watched Tomb Raider, and her acting skills are really not that good. You know what made Meet Mr. Smith and Mrs. Smith or whatever. It was just guns.
Yeah.
Guns in that black
Guns and-
dress, cut all the way up the side.
Guns and action.
Action.
I mean, because the storyline was
Stupid.
based on action. The acting, was there really like a Steel Magnolias moment? You know, like everybody claims that movie was so good. I'm just making a joke out of Steel Magnolia, whatever, because I don't really know. I don't really recall that much about it. But
Fried great in the
was the
makers.
action so overpowering that you didn't have to pay attention to the acting, is what I was getting at.
No, I was never stunned by how.
I mean, you know, Richard Dreyfuss doing a mashed potato mountain and Close Encounters, that was like Academy Award winning, right? If you could have put chives on it, it would have been better, maybe.
Yeah.
Chives would have represented the trees.
Chives. I never did
So-
understand that whole shirt thing about chives either.
What?
The whole shirt thing about chives. Have you seen that?
No.
It's got the little. It's huge. It's got the king's crown, and it says chive this or chive that or.
Could it be from
Mm.
that website thing? Because you know that all these people are,
Stupid.
well, they're having shirts that say chiving and all this other
Yeah,
stuff. Something to
yeah.
do with that picture
Yeah, that's
website.
what I'm talking about. I don't. I
I
don't.
downloaded it
understand
one time as an app, and I didn't really get into it.
What does it mean? I mean, I
You
I
have to
cook
look
a
it
lot.
up. I don't know.
I cook a lot, so when I say chive, I think of something completely different than everybody else. I'm looking it up.
yes.
There are like 8 million different subcategories for it. There's some in Arabic. Jeez, Google
Wow.
has gotten so big that it's out of control. Chive? Did you say chive? This is that what it was? Or
Well, I know that, like, I think like the app's just called Chive.
Yeah.
here it is, right here. Like
But you know, they got the Chive girls and the Chive
Yeah,
this.
see, it's-
See,
it keep calm and chive, or
Right.
you know, I don't. Somebody call in and
Well,
explain
that's
that
a
to me.
keep calm
yeah,
I
but
know.
he's just
Yeah,
pointing that
I
as an
know.
example because they're everywhere.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
if somebody understands that, call in. Okay, here we go. I got a guy in a shirt here. It says, "Keep calm." It's got the little crown.
Yeah.
Keep calm and chive in.
Chive on.
Chive on. And,
Chive
and,
on. Oh, sorry.
and it's got to just be that website.
Yeah, it's got to be that website.
What's on that one? I never went to the website.
Well,
Well,
you go look. You got the. You'd have to, since you are using a tablet, go get the app
Yes.
or go to the app store or whatever and just look at it and you'll see it's kind of like that shut up thing that's on Facebook.
When you do chive this, you look it up. The first thing that comes up is hot women, pictures and
That's
photos of
what-
sexy women of
that's right.
chive.
That's what I was getting at. That's what it's become.
Wow. The internet. Do you ever think the internet is going to get so plagued with the BS that they're going to like hit the reset button or something? 'Cause, I mean, it's valuable. The things you can do on the internet are amazing. But then you have to now every single solitary page you look at is ad,
Right.
ad.
And that
Subscribe
dude's
to
making
this.
good money off that chive thing. I mean, truly, I just saw it back. A guy named Ray that we used to hang out with had it, and he kept trying to point it out to me, and so I was like, okay, I'll download it, and then you start messing with it, and it's like, yeah, it's pictures and jokes, but it was the same thing. To me, it was the same thing I was already seeing on Facebook. So I was like, why am I seeing twice?
yeah.
Damn. Somebody made you think they made a min off of it. You never know.
Oh no, this guy's making money because some of the other shows you're hearing about people saying the Chive Girls will be here, and I guess the bars and stuff
Trying to get them.
are paying to have that.
Like the St. Pauli girls.
Yeah, stuff like that. That's the weird thing is there's so much out there nowadays that for one person to be able to explain everything is hard because there's just so much out there. There's so many. We are definitely in that world of technology with all the websites and all the apps and everything else. So the biggest thing is finding somebody. And if you ever came up with an idea, you have to find somebody that would actually know how to make the idea come to life.
You know what I've talked about the internet. You know what I found this week was on WikiLeaks.
What the hell is a WikiLeaks?
You never heard of WikiLeaks?
No, again, that just fell right into what I was saying, that there's so much out there.
WikiLeaks is it's like Wikipedia, but it's used by people that leak like public information, you know.
That's kind of cool.
That's what Snowden and those guys, all the guys that are, you know, being chased for sabotage or espionage or any of those things. They all posted on WikiLeaks.
Huh.
Remember that guy? God, I want to say his name is it's Assange, Assauge, Assange. I think it's Assange. But WikiLeaks. I was kind of surprised you didn't know about that.
No, I mean, maybe I've heard it, but I didn't know about it.
Well, this weekend,
I mean, you may have said the name before, and I just didn't realize what it was.
It basically, right here, the definition of it is it publishes and comments on leaked documents alleging government or corporate misconduct. Julian Assange, yeah, that's right. I added a U in there. So this weekend I just figured, God, how is it that nobody has,
somebody just typed, Mike needs to go see a doctor about his WikiLeaks.
That's not WikiLeaks, that's different. But I found some of Hillary's emails
through that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I was reading them. There's nothing like classified or nothing, but it's almost like you're being sneaky, you know?
So you feel that you're getting away with something that you're really not getting away with?
Yeah.
I mean, so it's feeding something in you, I guess. Because voyeurism, right. Because you feel like you're getting away with something that you're really not getting away with. No. I guess I could see it a little bit.
Basically, right now, they're saying that there's over 23,000 of her cables, you know, her emails out there on WikiLeaks now. And it's crazy because somebody set up a database and you can look them up by day. You can look them up by document number. Yeah, the way she answers her emails, or not answers, but like a signature block at the bottom, you know, like I used to always say in the military, we used to always say respectively submitted. Michael S. Manson, you know, warrant officer, aviation, you know, U.S. Army, that kind of stuff. But to see the way she does it, it's funny. She just puts like HC down at the bottom and all. Boy, I tell you. And to read some of the stuff, man, it's just for this woman to say that.
I would like for all of it to just become public for everybody. I still cannot get over the fact that, you know, like the one guy that they claim is a traitor and didn't want to come back to the United States because he leaked something. And
Snowden.
Then you got this lady who's apparently got lots of dirt on people, and that's why she's not being put in prison.
Hey, look, my car. Have you seen the one where Putin is pointing and he goes, "I'm going to release Hillary's emails"? That's great.
I wish they would. I'm confused as to how did we end up here? How did we end up here where we have a person that's a criminal that should be locked up? How did we end up here where that person could possibly be our president?
You can't get there from here.
Usually they become president and then you hear about corruption.
Yeah.
I never knew we were going to hear about corruptions and then they become the president.
Social media, man.
I mean,
gotta love it.
Just damn. How does that make any sense?
That's crazy.
Yes, let's vote on her because she has the best criminal record. You know, my wife, we did a poker run and my wife won some money off the worst hand. So is that how our presidency is going to be elected? And worst president goes to
the really. It's kind of like the lowest bid.
I saw something that was a joke of Nixon, and it was a picture. And it says, "Dig me up, you owe me an apology," because I was impeached for deleting or whatever however it worded. I was impeached for doing this, but yet this person deleted. It was like 13 things he did wrong, and they said, you know, the way it was said, like I was impeached over this, and this person deleted these thousands, blah 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 blah, and y'all are making her president. So it was just kind of cute. I know I was rambling trying to get that out, but I was trying to visualize how it was said because it was all in the wording that made it so funny.
I think a lot of these polls that you look at, I know Herman Cain, he usually just jumps on a poll. He said he doesn't even listen to a poll or, give any attention to a poll that has less than 1,000 participants, which that's pretty fair. Because some of these polls are ridiculous. You know, we polled 4 people.
Yeah,
and 3 of them are for Hillary. So
how do you say 1 out of 9 people when you talk to 6? See, does that make sense? I read stuff like that, or I see stuff like that, and I'm just shaking my head, going, "Those are not realistic numbers." I mean, let's just point this out. If I go to Porterdale and I talk to 100 people, can I truly say the words that 1 out of 9 people in Newton County believe this?
No,
because I went to one area and only talked to those people in that area. Then how can I actually have a real statistic? If I went to Harley and I only talked to a bunch of bikers, then how can I say that 90% of Conyers or 90% of Rockdale view this?
Mm-hmm.
When realistically, I probably talked to 100 men that are bikers and 3 women that are bikers.
Yes.
But how could I say Rockdale County's views are when that's not realistic?
It's so hard to just generalize off of a few folks, especially with something as important as presidential campaign.
And I have people that have made comments all the time about how do I know what I know when it comes to the stuff we do. And we talked to so many people through everything. I mean, we were sitting at lunch yesterday and messages were coming through where we were talking with police officers. I was sitting with one, and you hear these things. And then, you know, when it comes to like the homeless stuff, you know, I had so many people try to tell me about the homeless, and I'm like, have you helped the homeless ever? No. Have you ever went down to a shelter? No. Did you go stand under that bridge in 7-degree weather and hand them socks, shoes, water, a couple of tarps, a sleeping bag? Oh, you didn't? Then how can you scream and yell at me about homeless people when you actually have no information? And that's the stuff that trips me out.
Absolutely.
Because it doesn't make sense. You know, and you know, I made the comment the other day about if you're living in a $250,000 house, you can't say that everything in the town, the county's doing great. Now, it might look good out of your window.
Yeah.
But I'm not looking out of a $250,000 window. And the people at Sunrise Trailer Park is looking out of a $25 window.
If that.
So it's real easy for you to say, from my point of view. Yeah, you can say from my point of view, you can say that really easy, but your point of view may not have actually anything behind it. And I know that sounds negative of me to put it that way, but I need everybody to really open your eyes and look at the world and actually put a little more perspective to things here. Because if you really truly think about it, if you do the same thing over and over again every day, and you never change your routine, then you are trapped in your own world, in your own bubble, and you're not able to see it from somebody else's eyes. And we always try to, we try to always make sure that we make people open their eyes to see it a little differently. Because again, if I'm sitting up in this big to-do house in this big fancy neighborhood where all my neighbors have landscape guys, and my neighbors really truly wouldn't even have to come out of their house other than go to and from work in probably a white collar world, then how can you even visualize, well, the poor guy next door's, you know, push mower's broke and that's why he can't get his grass cut today? Or the poor guy next door's water got turned off and that's why he looked so thirsty today. But when you're looking through your rose colored lenses, everything's going to look pretty.
Absolutely.
So there you go. That was just me kind of wording it that way a little bit. Well, look, we need to go to commercial. I was filling in some time too because I knew the commercial was coming. Everybody hang tight. We'll be right back. I downloaded this song the other day. It seems to be a pretty good song. We'll be right back.
See you.
My wife's here yet.
Work last night.
Yeah, man. She had to pull that off. And then with everything happening, you know, getting out of her car, walking through the parking lot, all that sort of stuff. That was a little nerve wracking on her end.
Oh, I bet. I used to have to hate working overnight at Kroger.
You know, my phone, I type morning so much. I went to type monitor and it gets confused. And Henry's back. Henry's been on vacation all week, so he's just been listening to music. He hadn't really got to listen to a whole lot of any of the morning shows. Man, I just didn't feel like I got any sleep last night. So I guess the Iron Man guy got his suit.
He did.
Correct?
Yeah, that was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
I keep seeing pictures, but I thought that was him.
He had his first visit Saturday, I believe it was.
He must know some folks over at the Sycamore Street Pizzeria. He likes to go over there.
Well, I think they reached out and wanted to do something, so giving him an avenue. This girl says my boyfriend keeps taking pictures of me and look at the mirror.
Disgusting. Nobody wants to see that.
You can see that it's her in the bathroom.
Dong. Dong.
Come on.
Man, I gotta go get me some snack on. This morning I came down and I had to put this computer back in because I had to use it to go do a wet. Oh my God, let me tell you, wet idea. I'm not even joking. The woman that told me over the phone that it was a country club. When I say evergreen, you know, it's Stone Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
It's big
beautiful,
place.
yeah.
So when she says, but it's happening in two separate areas. It's okay. She said, we're getting the marriage, it's for her daughter. They're getting married in Kingdom Hall, but then the reception's in so-and-so hall.
Mm-hmm.
I pictured Kingdom Hall,
yeah,
so-and-so hall.
Separate.
I didn't picture here and another building here.
Why would you do that to them?
And the fact that they wouldn't let me park behind the building. They want me parking out there where it says members only because it's a golf course. And I had to truck my stuff here and here. Oh, that's right. But I also had to go up to the other building that was 2-3 football fields apart.
Oh, no.
So when my soundboard didn't work and I had to go get my other soundboard, I had to run down the sidewalk in 100-degree weather.
Now, I was about to say, way too hot to have to be moving all that stuff.
I'm sick.
That ain't good. Summertime colds.
I hate summertime colds. I would rather have a wintertime cold. Because at least in the wintertime, when you get all stopped up and your chest is burning from bronchitis or whatever, you can go outside and breathe in the cold air.
This morning I came down here so early to get that computer back on. I didn't eat nothing or anything.
It's crazy. We got one viewer. Oh yeah, got a brand new compressor in the fan. We gotta go put in 3.5 or 3.5. I'll say, but they can comment on it. I don't know if you can click on that.
Dun 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 dun. dun,
And we're back. So we got anything good other than all the drama over the weekend? Is there anything?
Well, I didn't have drama over the weekend. I got to play with a little piggy.
Yes.
It was so cute. I got to feed it and
Listen,
rock it to sleep.
listen. Just because you took yourself to the Golden Corral
Hey.
to eat doesn't mean what you're trying to paint the image of. You
gotta
got
watch it.
you went to Golden Corral. You got
Nope.
a fat, full belly. You
Nope.
went home and you sat in a rocking chair.
Nope.
You can paint this picture however you want,
I
Stephanie.
got
But
pictures.
we know that. I'm looking at you right now. I don't even need to see a picture.
I got pictures of me play. I don't have pictures of me feeding the piggy, but I have pictures of me.
Well, it was
playing
hard
with
for
it.
you to hold the plate in one hand, the fork in the other, and a selfie camera.
Bite me. No, Travis took the picture. But I have a picture of me playing with her, and then when she fell asleep. Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm visualizing her at home.
Oh, there was a lot
and then
of
she fell
pictures.
asleep.
I know that I told her, I said,
No,
and then I said, massage the meat,
Oh my
it was one of those.
make it Kobe.
It was a 1 week old piglet, and
Whose was it? Where'd it come from?
My friends that you met at the 4th of July, they had it.
Now, it was
It
that
came
a
from a petting zoo in Grayson, which she gave me the information for that, and I was going to reach out to her and see about
Bacon.
no, see about setting up something for maybe us, for all of us to take the kids out there.
little petting zoo type thing?
Yeah, but she
Sounds
also,
like you want to go more than the kids.
well, she also gives away well, now they had to pay for the pig, but when she gets a certain
When
amount,
she gets older, we're slaughtering her.
she sells ducks. No, it's a mini pig. You don't eat a mini pig.
You can.
No,
It's just not all you can eat. It's like a pork sandwich.
that pig's not gonna get, but like
I was thinking Jimmy
30.
Dean sausage, little small ones.
it's not gonna get. Yeah, that's what Travis said. A little pig in the blanket. It's not gonna get, but
See?
like 35 to 40 pounds.
Oh, that's plenty of barbecue.
No,
I'm telling you, like a pound of
No.
barbecue right now is like $15 because it's the summer. So, said 30 pounds, $10. That's about
No.
$300.
but yeah, she gives.
So if we go get two of them, we'll name it Jim and Nick.
Yeah, or sweet and sizzling, or just sizzling. So, the sauces at Sonny's.
Mm-mm.
Yummy.
Travis said we were gonna get
We'll get one
and
and name it Strickling.
Gross. Swine flu.
Travis said we were gonna get one and name it pig in a blanket. So that's kind of stupid.
I think it's funny.
But her name was Georgia.
I saw a goat, a little mini goat like that one
The
time.
problem is trying to have it. They're actually illegal.
A
don't
pig
know.
is?
Yeah,
I
man.
didn't know a pig was.
Mhm.
How
Like
does
if you live in a subdivision,
Oh yeah, yeah.
because it's Gwinnett County is. I know Gwinnett's rules. I'm sure Rockdale's is the same because Department of Agriculture, but
Well, they don't.
you
live in
can't
Rockdale
have
County.
you can't.
I'm just saying.
So what county do they live in?
I'm just saying.
Wherever social circle is.
Okay,
Not Morgan.
so
Walton.
if they're not living in what's zoned as an agriculture area, if it's a suburban area, if it's considered a neighborhood, you can't have livestock. That's what that's what it's labeled as, a livestock. A
Mhm.
pet is considered a cat, a dog, a bird.
Yeah.
A
Domestic.
pig is considered livestock.
What's a snake considered?
Dead.
A
Yeah.
mistake.
Yeah. The only three kinds of good snakes.
But yeah, I was just bringing it up because I know somebody that had a pig and got in a lot of trouble over it.
Well, they have this one. It's housebroken already, even though it's only a week old. It uses a little litter box, and it's so cute.
There's just something functionally wrong with cleaning up poop after a pig. I don't know.
Well, I told them, at least when it gets bigger, they'll have somebody to help them hide the body. And they looked at me funny. I said, "You don't realize pigs will eat
Yeah, you got to have
a
a couple.
body?"
Yeah, got to have a couple pigs.
You probably want a bigger one than 35-pound pig, but
Can you imagine a
Hey.
35-pound pig trying to eat my body after I'm dead? I think I'll be like 90 years old. Be like, I can't eat no more.
He's gonna last for 4 seasons.
That's some
They'll
impressive
find
pig.
parts.
I wanted to get a goat once, and then I was told you couldn't have one, and that's how I had to go research to find out that I couldn't own a goat because I didn't want to own a lawnmower.
My
There
my buddy had one in Covington, and that lasted 2 nights.
There's one in my neighborhood. They have a big goat.
Probably not legal.
Or or you're out in the boonies or whatever sticks.
No, not,
or
no,
well,
not
yeah, no, well,
might be
in-
zoned
in-
differently.
I was gonna say if you were a normal neighborhood, but like your neighborhood,
Yeah, the goat receives mail.
it's
in your
most
neighborhood.
likely not legal to have livestock in your area.
Oh no, it's a cute little goat.
Oh,
Well,
it's
it's
cute.
actually
So there
not-
you go.
I mean,
little.
because it
No,
kind
I'm
of
just
it kind of falls under if I remember correctly with Rockdale, you have to have X number of acres for one horse.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's probably because it's livestock. I'm sure it's going to be kind of considered the same thing to have a goat. You're probably going to have X number of acres.
Well, I know when we were moving into Rockdale 15 years ago.
Yeah, because
I had a
nothing's
horse.
changed in 15 years.
I'm just saying that when we
being
were
smart, Alec,
first-
I'm just
I know
saying.
you're being a smart ass.
You're like, yeah, when we moved in here 15 years ago, I'm like, yeah, okay. Think how many laws have changed in 15 years.
and
Yeah, 'cause
syphilis is gone.
And that was my point.
They developed penicillin. They scraped it off a moldy piece of bread.
And that was my point that I was going to make. 15 years ago, I had
Hold
a
on.
horse.
I didn't read this, and I've
Oh,
got to read this.
shoot.
It goes back to like 4 minutes ago. That little small one should be called bacon bits.
There you
No.
go. I like that.
That's cute.
But that is cute. But yeah, Travis had even said that too. But when we moved in,
Okay, what didn't Travis say, Stephanie?
Well, he didn't.
Our listeners shouldn't have a point. Just keep telling us what Travis said.
he
Should
said
we get a
Miss-
bracelet that says
he
what
said-
would Travis say?
He said Miss Piggy holding a piggy when he took the picture.
Well, that is accurate
I know that's why he said it. But anyways,
because Travis said it.
From the Church of Redneck, what would Travis say?
Dance with rattlesnakes.
Whoop whoop. Not with them.
We
There's
need
this-
Travis on the phone. I don't even know what we should talk about. Let's see what Travis would say.
There's this church I know, and they dance
Keep
with
going.
rattlesnakes.
So 15
But
years
15
ago when you
years
moved
ago,
here and
when
there
we-
was dirt roads and
yeah, and I had a horse then, or well, Travis and I both did.
Well, that's how you got to work
But-
with
No, that's
so she got back and forth to school
well
for the first 2 years. Then she quit.
it. Hell, the horse was a teacher.
But they said that because we moved onto an acre, they said that if we put shelter out there, that we could have had him at the house that we lived at.
Right.
A horse?
A horse, yes.
It's possible. It may be possible. What house are you talking about?
the one that we just, not the one we just moved out
I
of,
got
but the
what
one
you're
before
saying.
that one.
West Porterdale.
Yeah, West
It's-
Porterdale.
It's possible, but the way they word it, you would have to have an acre for the horse, not you live on an acre. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because your house eats up volume, your front yard eats up volume. So you're supposed to actually have an acre per. It's all in the wording, I'm sure.
Yeah, they said, and the
So
law,
you probably could have if you'd have been.
but I wouldn't have been able to have any other pet. Period.
Right.
No dog, no
That's
cat,
what I
no
was
nothing.
getting at.
Just the horse. That was
Right.
it.
That's my point. Is you have to
Yeah.
have individually for that.
Yes. But
Mhm.
but they
Kinda
were
crazy.
very animate
Do what?
that
I said it's kind of crazy.
Well, it's
Yeah.
because of the Department of Ag. Like technically, if you're breeding dogs, all these people that are just selling dogs up at the Walmart,
Puppy mills.
if you're breeding all these dogs, you have no idea what violations you're actually doing. If you're going to be breeding dogs, you have to be registered.
Yep.
You have to have, I believe it's a 4-inch poured raised concrete patio with the dog shelter built on it. It'd have to have runoff. It'd have to have where
Yeah.
you could clean it.
Ken,
Mhm.
Ken had all
It
that
has
with
to be
the,
all kenneled. I mean,
yeah, with the
yeah,
police-
for the
And
dog.
the
Yeah.
police dog. They came out and they had to put a concrete slab
Uh-huh.
out, and the fence had to be so high.
That's
and the
right.
Built-in kennel
And
and,
a kennel
water and
license.
food.
So if you're just spitting out puppies and somebody wants to bust your balls, they can.
I know a lot of
They
girls
could.
like
They
that.
could screw you up.
I know a bunch of
Mhm.
girls that are just having litter after litter after.
Girls or their dogs.
Oh, I'm sorry. Female dogs. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, I'm sorry. he was gonna name it Pancake.
He.
Travis.
Oh yeah, because what would
Oh,
Travis say?
What would Travis say?
Yeah. He won't name it Pancake. Pigs in the blanket.
Travis, I was thinking about having salad for lunch. What would you do?
Is that his?
And I'm not asking you to toss my salad, by the way.
Whoa. It's before 9 o'clock.
That went bad.
I was just trying to squeeze that in really fast.
It was trying to squeeze
So
it
was
in.
Travis.
He needs some
Ask the
raspberry
mullet.
filling. He doesn't have a mullet anymore.
Yeah, but he's always going to be known as the mullet guy.
Oh yeah, that's true.
He-
Mullet man.
If you
Well-
if you ask him now, is he growing his mullet back? What would Travis say?
I don't know. You'd have to ask him.
Nah.
You have married this guy and lived with him. How long?
23 years.
Does the
24
mullet
years.
does the mullet come back like every winter?
Oh yeah.
Meaning every year, the winter's coming again.
Oh yeah.
So the mullet comes back. It's a seasonal thing.
The kids used to call him. The kids in the old neighborhood used to call him Gallagher.
Wow. What'd they call you?
Why did he
Step.
throw watermelon at him or something?
No, because the way his hair was. Because he had the mullet
And
and
shaved
the
head.
long sides
I got that.
and
I was
the
making
bald
a joke.
spot.
Shaved
Yeah.
mullet. Wow, that sounds like an appetizer. Can I get 2 orders of shaved mullet?
Well, if you was at a seafood restaurant, you probably could say that.
Or mullet.
Mm.
Do they pronounce that the same way? Is the haircut?
I got
and the
WWTS.
Yeah, I just saw that. What would Travis say? That's funny.
little bands. Let's
So
do it.
how about Naked and Afraid XL came back on
Did
last
it?
night, and I started watching. I fell asleep watching it. They have 4 tribes, if you call it that, or groups
Fruit,
of 3, and the little. It was funny because my wife had just made the comment about at least she's got a nice butt because they're naked and the girl was walking, but that girl was the first one to cry and leave
yeah, typical
because she was hearing
voices.
lions. No, they're hearing they're trying to sleep in South Africa and there's friggin' lions everywhere.
That's crazy.
I mean, everywhere you turn, there's friggin' lions.
On Alone, they're bears. The show Alone,
Yeah.
it's bears that are always stealing their food.
So how about 3 of the groups are located near some decent size? Well, 2 of them are located next to some decent size ponds,
Mm.
meaning they're at least like 200 or 300 feet left to right and 200 to 500 front to back, whatever. Another group shows up and there's this water hole. I don't know. It might be 30 foot by 30 foot. So you're thinking that's still a decent water hole, right?
Yeah.
No, yeah, absolutely.
This other group shows up and there's this water hole that's like 6 foot by 6 foot. And as the dude standing there, he looks down and they're like, God, this water looks so disgusting. There's stuff floating on everything else. And the guy looks over and goes, is that elephant poop? And he's like, oh my God, there's elephant poop in the water. Oh my God. And they're scooping it up with a pan or a pot and boiling it so they can drink it.
Yeah.
And it just looks like diarrhea.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Like they're sitting here drinking it and it's chunky. Stephanie, I mean, it's chunky.
Chunky water.
No. You're not getting me this morning.
I'm not trying to get you at all. I was just simply bringing up the fact that it was chunky. It was like pouring a glass of milk and then throwing your Nestle's on top of it. It just clunks up.
No.
So the guy was talking about being hungry, and they go down in this little hole because I keep seeing bubbles coming up, and they decided to fish.
Yeah, good idea.
So they pick up this catfish, and then it jumps off the hook and goes back in this little water hole. I'm thinking this water hole's only like 6 foot by 6 foot. It could be too hard to find this fish.
Canoodling.
So then they end up finding a crab. Black guy goes, oh my God, I can't eat it because I'm allergic to shellfish. So these people, these other 2 people, instead of trying, now we're only talking a 6 foot by 6 foot hole. Instead of trying to find the fish again, they take the crab and go cook it. And they eat the crab in front of the dude who says, I can't eat that because I have an allergic reaction.
That's
So then
bad.
they wake up the next day and they say, we feel bad. So they went down there and they put this little brick wall up and left an opening so when they could chase the fish from one side to the other, and then they close the wall off and they grab it. And it's this huge catfish. When I say huge, it's maybe like, I don't know, an 8-pounder, if that.
That's pretty good stuff.
And
that's edible.
They go back, they cook it. They tell this guy, hey, we got you some fish. He says, no, I'm not going to eat right now. And they're like, but we just made fish. They should have looked at him and said, we just made you fish. But they planned on eating it too. Don't get me wrong.
No, yeah.
But they went after the fish because they knew they ate in front of them. They could have waited 2 more days before they killed this fish, if they really wanted to. But they thought they were doing the right thing for this guy. And the guy says, no, I'm not going to eat. I'm just going to fast.
Oh, wow. That last one I watched.
But yeah, the water is just disgusting.
Let's not get
You're
in
not
there.
gonna get me.
That last one I watched, it shows at the end how much the weight they've lost.
Yeah.
On average, it was like 30+ pounds.
Oh, yeah.
How long are they out there? 'Cause I don't watch
This
it.
one's 40 days.
Yeah, I think the last
wow.
one was 40 days.
The normal's 21 days, but this is 40.
Now, that's when they're
Wow.
by themselves, right? Just
When it's just
male
2
and
of them,
female,
it's 21. Yeah. Now, the 40-day one, how about this? This one girl's walking and there's thorns everywhere. When I say thorns, I mean these things are like 3-inch long spikes. A girl steps on it. The first rule of any first aid, go take a course, apply pressure.
Yes.
This girl stepped on a thorn. You got to think she's laying on her back at this point. Blood's just pouring out of her foot. And she takes the leaf and presses on it and then takes the leaf off. You watch the blood run down her foot. She puts it back on. So then she just lays on her back, throws her leg up in the air to elevate it, and just lets it bleed. And I'm like, apply pressure. It's not going to. Okay. Again, we already pointed out that there's lions everywhere.
Oh yeah, let's leave.
Let's just let your foot bleed in that fresh smell. And I know they're not smart enough to think about this because it's obvious. Let's just put up a camp really close to the water. That way we're close to the water. But everything's coming to the water. Hence the reason you keep seeing lions everywhere.
That's it.
Everything's trying to stay close to the water.
Yeah.
And some of these animals are picking off the other animals that it's getting close to the water.
Yeah.
I am blown away at the level of intelligence or lack of. And it's easy for me to sideline coach and say that sitting here. But what I don't understand is, how do you have all this common sense and then you get there and you lose it? You forget your common sense.
Reality. Because on the second season of Alone on the History Channel, they're putting 10 people out. One of the guys who had been talking crap, you know how they show how they are before they go. He's talking crap to all his buds. Oh, I'm gonna kill this. We're gonna be spending that $500,000, which is weird because on the Naked series they don't win anything.
They win nothing.
Yeah, but on Alone they win $500,000. That's $5 million.
I'm sure they're paid. I'm sure the people on Naked and Afraid are getting something. They got to be getting some kind of compensation. I mean, because just the union part of it alone, there's a base price they got to get paid.
Got to be. And they're leaving work for that long if they have jobs. I don't know.
Well, hell, some of them had discussed quitting. I quit my job to come here.
Yeah, that's
kind
of crazy. Because, you know, the TV companies or whatever you call them, networks, they don't care about you.
Your entertainment.
Yeah.
Well, it's no different than what happened over this last weekend. And I'm not trying to go backwards on the weekend story, but you do realize that all the reporters are just chasing the next story.
Yeah.
They want to poke you, prod you to get whatever out of you that can make the story sound great, and then they move on to the next one.
Yes. And these shows, because these guys now on Alone have been out there like 30+ days.
Have you seen the most recent one where the lady gives up?
That was probably last week, Thursday. I haven't seen that one yet.
This lady, and I don't want to ruin it for you, but I just did. But the lady says she's already called and got somebody to come get her.
Right.
And then she's talking to them and the camera and says, I love it here. I could stay forever. Most people are quitting because of this, and this. I miss my kids, but I truly wish I could just stay. Wait a minute. Do you want to leave or do you truly want to leave? Or do you truly want to stay? Or do you truly want to leave or do you truly want to stay? You have bragged about how much you like it there. You're one with nature. You learn to coexist with this, and you learn to coexist with this, and you're not leaving because of any reason other than you miss your kids. And but she still returns to the fact of, I truly wish I could stay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, you don't. Because if you truly wish you could stay, you would truly be staying.
Yeah. It doesn't. A lot of their reasoning for leaving, just like I was saying, that guy, the very first day, he wasn't there 4 hours.
They're down to 4 people, I think, now.
Yeah. This guy.
Oh, yeah, that guy that was the trucker or whatever. The only one was there like 4 hours.
He sat on a log. He never went in the woods.
This is harder than I thought.
Yeah. The boat hadn't even made it back.
That's right.
They had to turn around. And they're like,
and he said the words, this is harder than I thought. And it's like, you've been there 4 hours.
And people that go, oh, I miss my kids. I've been away from my kids for 30 days. Oh, I miss my kids.
This lady said that she's been 2 months at this point.
Come on, man. 500,000. My kids will be like, don't come back.
And here's another thing that gets me. How do these people get onto this show if, okay, it would seem to me, here's an opinion, and here's an assumption. It would seem to me that if you decided I want to go get on this show, to me that means you've apparently watched the show. That would seem to me that apparently you've watched at least a few shows like this. But there's a guy claiming that he couldn't get warm.
Yeah.
So he fully dressed, climbs in his sleeping bag.
Yeah.
At 4 o'clock in the afternoon, he says, this is where I'll be till tomorrow morning. Why did he not get up and do some jumping jacks for a few minutes? Why did he not physically do something to warm his body up? And my number one thing I do remember from when we were sleeping in 30 under, whatever clothes you've been wearing, you take off when you get in your sleeping bag, because when you start sweating a little bit, these clothes you're going to have to put back on will now have sweat, perspiration. It'll be moist. And then what's going to happen is if you're laying in your sleeping bag with your clothes on, you're getting that moisture. Then you're going to get out of the sleeping bag and go stand in 30-degree weather. You're actually going to cause yourself to freeze. And I just don't understand it. They've got a fire going in this little tent. They need to take off their clothes that they've been sweating in, hang it up to try to dry the moisture out, put on fresh clothes, get in their sleeping bag, sleep, get out of that moist clothes and put back on the dry clothes. And with us, when it was 30 and lower, we literally would have tomorrow morning's pants, underwear, t-shirt, and all that rolled up, and they're in the feet at the very bottom of our sleeping bag, so they would be semi-warm when we woke up the next morning. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you. We would be sleeping in long johns, and it was 18 degrees. You would get up the next morning, and even though you would be, teeth chattering because you're so cold that morning, but that little bit of moisture that was in them long johns, as soon as you unzip from that freaking sleeping bag, boy, it was on.
That's it.
You were awake. There was no sleepy to it. You were cold. You were awake. But then you was reaching in that sleeping bag, grabbing them warm clothes and putting them on really fast.
We went to the NASCAR race in March one time, and it was so cold that, we were freezing. I never thought that it would be so cold at a NASCAR race in March.
Them cold snaps happen though, chick.
Yeah. Travis and I was all, because we were camping out at the.
That's what I would assume if you just said that. What would Travis say, Stephanie?
Either that or some of those homeless days.
What other reason would you be doing there? Keep going.
Yeah, we were having fun. We were there the whole weekend. We were camping with Rick and Dawn, so it was fun. But yeah, we used body temperature or body heat.
Between two people.
Yeah.
I'm gonna vomit.
Shut up.
Okay, so here's something a lot of people don't realize. So how about this? If you start to get hypothermia, I'm gonna ask you this question as an A or B, Stephanie. Is if you were on the verge of hypothermia, would you get in your sleeping bag with your husband fully clothed or naked?
Naked.
Why?
Because of the body heat. Because the body heat between the two of you, it creates more heat than with the clothes on.
Yes.
Clothes
I
blocks
just
it.
was kind of curious of how you were going to word it, but yes.
Yeah, I was kind of curious as to how I was going to word it too.
Not me.
But do you know a lot of people, dude? A lot of people don't know that.
I was doing everything I can not to get an image.
I mean, it's just like this. Say you fall into a lake fully dressed.
Cool.
Is it smart to keep your clothes on or
No.
smart to take your clothes off?
Take them off.
No, wait,
Incorrect.
Is it?
Incorrect. If you were trying to stay warm while in that water, you better keep your clothes on.
Yeah. No, if you're wanting to stay warm in the water,
That's what I just said. If you
misunderstood.
fall in the lake, do you take your clothes off? Okay.
Well, you didn't say if it was cold weather or hot weather. So that's,
Okay, so we were talking about being cold,
Yeah.
so I just assumed we were leading into the same conversation, the same style of conversation. But what I was getting at is a lot of people just don't know how to survive. A lot of
Right.
people don't know. I mean, it's like right now, especially with today's temperatures. If I needed to drink that lake water, people go, "Oh my God!" You can actually, if you could find a Ziploc bag, but that's where a lot of times at lakes there's trash laying around. You can actually put some water in a Ziploc bag and lay it out in front of the sun for a couple of hours, and then it would, even though it would be warm, it would at least be safe to drink. And a lot of
Yep.
people don't know how to survive.
right. You can do the same thing with salt water. You put it in something. If you're lost at sea, you put it in something, let the heat get to it, and it's supposed to evaporate
No.
the salt out of it.
Where would it
So that's not
evaporate
true.
to?
I don't know. Back in the air. I don't know. Well, that's what I always heard, that if you're at sea,
there is a method to it, but
It's
that
called
ain't it.
desalination, and that's not it.
so
That's
what,
cute,
you got to
though.
drink it and then pee it out?
No, you don't drink it. If you drink salt water, you will really mess yourself up. You're going to die a lot faster. You'll die faster drinking the salt water than if you just don't drink any water at all.
And from what I understand, it will be a painful death.
Oh, God. That's funny. All right, everybody, give us just a few minutes. We'll be back. Put it in something and let it evaporate out.
Well, that's what they said.
Stephanie, if it evaporates out, it's actually evaporating the water out. It's not evaporating the salt. And the very same water you're wanting to drink is evaporating.
Joe Leeper mentioned me in a comment.
Oh, God.
He tagged us all in it. He caught Mike on video.
Huh?
He tagged us all in it. He caught Mike on video. You have to watch.
Maybe stop by me and hear that. I squeezed it off. Hear that.
You can't hear me over your pee?
Ew.
That's not
Ah! You're disgusting.
What would Travis say?
Travis would laugh. Yeah, he's like, there it is.
Who is that, do I wonder? Hold on, I gotta go put that on the YouTube for
That good in silver.
everybody's got to see this. Joe Leeper tagged us in this, you guys. Watch this. That's Monroe. That is hilarious. Oh my God. Oh my God. Only in Monroe. That's got to be Monroe. I just saw what looked like to be where the tennis salon used to be.
You broke my heart because I couldn't dance. You didn't even want me around.
Oh my God.
And now I'm back to let you know I can really shake them down. Do you love me?
No, I don't know that that's Monroe, but it sure did look like it there for a second. Watch me now. Oh my God, that's insane. He's in a parade.
Oh.
Oh my God.
6.6 million views.
And we can't get views. Oh Lord, that was good stuff. That was good stuff. I picture Jacob dancing.
Mhm.
Let me see where that is. I don't know. Doesn't give a direction. There's about, let's see. No, I still don't say where that video's from. That's just
the
funny.
Show.
Huh?
Radio show.
Oh, was it? That was freaking hilarious, though. I picture Joe Leeper doing that, though.
Yeah. I would too.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We was laughing. Joe Leeper had sent us a video of him in a parade. I got to give you mad props, bro. I don't know that I could have done that.
Yeah, you rocked that suit, man.
You rock that suit.
He is a lot more open about his homosexuality.
And he's pretty flexible. Did you notice the leg kick?
Yeah. You
Good
know how to.
And the hips. He had a little good, you know, maybe that's why his wife likes him, is he has the little hip action going there. Elvis ain't got nothing on that.
Good
knew how
hand
to-
coordination.
He knew how to work that baton, too.
Yeah, man. Wow, that was weird, but yeah. Joe Leeper.
Weird and scary all in the same video. It's kind of like the Purge.
You know, if he can spin that baton and his fingers that good at a parade, can you imagine him with a torque wrench?
Do you love me?
Dancing around at that Chrysler Jeep Eagle?
That'd be cool.
Yeah, man.
Brings a whole new meaning to Mr. Goodwrench.
Oh yeah. What's you got under that hood?
Yeah, that's a dipstick, isn't it?
Oh my God. That was just crazy though. That video was crazy.
Yes, it is.
So we got anything else this morning? Anybody?
Yeah. Beaver Dam Farms,
Who?
Beaver Dam Farms, a 1,000 acre property just 13 miles outside of Athens, will be sold at auction, with the bidding starting at $3.5 million. The property at one time was the landmark home of country music singer Kenny Rogers.
Oh, how about
I was a little confused of where we were going there.
He's also returning to help sell the property. The property's amenities include multiple freshwater lakes, a $12,000 square foot.
Why is it being sold? Do we have that? Just out of curiosity.
It doesn't say.
Okay, well then keep going. I just didn't know, you know, why it was being sold.
12,000 square foot main house, a 4-bedroom guest house,
Man.
4 guest bungalows, a caretaker home, a reception areas and meeting places, staff quarters throughout the property, an 18-hole championship golf course, 2 clay tennis courts, a clubhouse, 2 pools.
Two poos?
Two
Pose?
pools.
Poo?
Now,
That ain't poo,
this
Stephanie.
is
That's pools.
This is a one-family house.
2 pools and a jacuzzi, a lakeside pier, a small barn, a 70,000 square foot indoor equestrian multi-purpose facility, and horse boarding. When Rogers purchased the property in the 1980s, he put somewhere between $35 to $40 million into its
Wow.
development.
So what's it selling for?
It's selling for $3.5 million.
Wow. And he put how much in it?
Starting at 3.5.
And he put how much in it?
He put 35 to 40 million in it in the 80s.
Holy cow.
In the 80s.
Holy cow.
That was a terrible investment, but
That is not a real good return, is it?
that is really bad. That's about negative 3,000% on that one.
Holy
Yeah.
cow.
Rogers bought the property and developed it to be one of the finest personal residences in the country. Rogers sold the property in 2003. It has been a resort and event facility since then. During Rogers' time at the residence, he hosted several celebrity golf tournaments. The most popular was known as the Classic Weekend. He's had celebrities in attendance, including Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Ahmad Rashid. The proceeds from the Classic Weekend is what built the Athens area homeless shelter.
Well, I guess that's kind of cool. I hope he's made enough money off of it to compensate for the loss of the sale.
I don't see how you could.
I don't know. I mean, is he financially screwed up or something?
Well, he hasn't.
And is that why it's for sale? You know,
he hasn't owned it. I mean, he sold it back in 2000.
Oh, so it's not his.
It's not his. It used to be his.
Oh, okay.
Well, that changes everything, Stephanie.
That's what I said. I said that earlier.
Well,
he sold it in 2003.
I know, but it just got confusing with when you said selling and he put this much money in it. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So when he sold it, what did he sell it for?
It doesn't say how much he sold it for. It just said that he sold it in 2003. And that's when it became a resort and an event facility.
Okay. I was under the impression that he still owned. I don't know. I just got lost in the numbers then.
Yeah, and it doesn't say how much it sold for when
I mean, you're just curious of
it.
why he sold it, you know. I don't know. It's just curiosity.
Wasn't he going bankrupt at one point?
No, it's not the one in Loganville, by the way.
I think he was.
That was Burt Reynolds at one time.
I think Kenny Rogers was tanking out too. Why do these guys all? They make these millions, and they invest $30 million in a $3 million house. That's how they did. Just because they're rich doesn't make them smart.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Tara's the one on 81 that now belongs to the church.
Yeah, yes. The Oasis.
No, well, it's actually named something else now.
The churches.
Yeah, it's called The Church or something like that.
That clarifies it. It's a church.
I was actually friends with the family that actually owned Tara. I did all the electrical work in it when we remodeled it. And then it was for sale, and a couple of rappers had looked at it, and the owner didn't want to sell it to know that it was just going to be used in music videos and things that was told about what they were going to buy it for. So he ended up working some stuff and moving a road, because there was actually a road that was next to it. And he took some of the property he owned and moved the road further to the right if you were facing the house, and then built the church. So once he built the church on his property, he then leased the church building to the church and then leased Tara to the church. And I don't know if whatever sold or not sold from that point, because I was no longer a member of the church at that point. But you know, that's what had happened then.
What happened?
That's what had happened then. I don't know what has happened since.
I know my daughter loves the houses in that subdivision. She lives right down the street. Baker something. Well, Tower. But she drives in there all the time and looks at all those big, beautiful houses.
Oh yeah.
Remember when they used to have the pictures, their heads, Lonnie and Bert used to have their heads on the roof there? You never saw that? Oh my God, it was spooky.
I tell you, it's funny though, working in that place, because there was a secret room that nobody really knew existed. I kind of discovered it, and it was kind of odd. But downstairs, now the master room was Bert's mother's. So
I didn't know that.
When you walked in, the big room to the left that was the master was for Bert's mother, and then upstairs there's 2 bedrooms.
Lonnie's hair had to have one.
Yeah, that's what was kind of said, that they had a room to the left, and then she had a room to the right, or something along those lines. But then they also had another door. This one bedroom had 2 bathrooms. Like, God. When you went in there to the bedroom and take a right in the bedroom, there was a sitting area. To the left was the bed, and then there was a door that took you to a full vanity bathroom, and then a shower, and then a toilet. But then there was this other door that took you into this other bathroom, area, if you will. It was kind of like Alice in Wonderland. You start walking down this hallway.
Don't go down the rabbit
And
hole.
there was a left door of the hallway that had a toilet and a bidet. Then there was a right door that had a toilet and a bidet. And you kept walking, and you walked into this room. It's almost as big as a studio that had mirror ceilings and mirror walls, and then had a black tub recessed into the floor. So you stepped down into this bathtub and it had gold fixtures. And then there was this huge window that just overlooked the property. So basically
Spooky.
we jokingly called it the I don't want to call it we called it the pee room. The I don't want to use the word, the nudie room would be the way to word it. Because it was right there. This bathtub was like a foot from this window. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, when no other houses were there, then maybe that was cool. But once all these other houses were built, you could sit on your front porch and look through the window and see this bathtub. Like, if you didn't know the bathtub existed, you would have just thought it was a window to just an empty room. But you start noticing people getting out of this bathtub would be a little weird.
Heck yeah.
And there was mirrors everywhere too. Yeah, it's a little strange.
They've got a great little pavilion over there too.
Oh yeah, they ended up. What were you talking about? The subdivision one to the left?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one's built for the actual subdivision.
It looks cool.
Yeah,
it does.
I mean, it's not a bad place. Don't get me wrong. They got a friggin' bar that's a handmade, one of a kind bar that you would see in like a saloon somewhere, like a real ritzy saloon. This bar that's downstairs in that room is incredible. I mean, it's just all hand carved wood. I mean, it's just incredible.
That's cool.
Yeah, man. They had a sauna in it. We took the sauna out. I'm sure somebody probably wishes that was still there.
Yeah.
And then the downstairs bedroom that was kind of connected to the place where the sauna was, that's the room I said that I found a room. Like I was working in the closet, and I had to try to get some electricity behind one of the chimneys that was downstairs, or fireplace rather. So as I started doing this, I was just like, there's this little hole. Oh my God, this is a door. And it actually let you walk in and go behind the fireplace to another area that was kind of like, to me, would have been something I'd have hid stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely.
It was kind of nice.
So he had hidden rooms in there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, something like that. You just have to see it to understand. He had a church in there. Bert had his own church.
Huh.
Yeah, man. But here's the odd thing. So you walk in there, and it was his chapel, and it looked like what you'd see in a movie, with bookshelves and all the wood stuff, and it was kind of cool. And it was his church. Like there was, a cross, and there's all this. But then when you walked in, you walk into this rectangle room, and you're walking in on the left side. Well, on the right side, completely opposite, is another door or another bar. I'm like, you got a bar connected to your church, dude. That's kind of funny. But I guess he sat out there and watched TV or something. I don't know. It was kind of neat though. And then the bathroom I found was really cool. And y'all are gonna giggle when I say this. So, outside they had the pool and the pool house. And the pool house had a bar, a sink, and all that. And it had two bathrooms. Well, one of the bathrooms had a stand-up urinal. So I was finding it funny when I went out there to pee in the stand-up urinal. I went, can you imagine I'm sitting here peeing where Jim Neighbors peed? Because, they did that movie Stroke Race.
Yeah.
But then, for everybody that really knows Jim Neighbors, my question after I was standing there peeing was, I'm peeing where Gomer Pyle peed. How cool. Oh, my God. What else did Gomer Pyle do in this bathroom?
Golly.
So, for every time that I stood there and peed in that urinal, as cool as I was thinking how cool it was to know, like Cannonball Run was filmed in Atlanta. So that means all these people were hanging out at Bert's house. So I'm thinking, I'm peeing where Sammy Davis Jr. did. I'm peeing, as I kept laughing about it, I'm peeing where all these famous people did. But then after you got 30 seconds into that thought, you go, I wonder what else they did in this bathroom. Like, how many quickies did Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr. get in this bathroom?
I know
how much cocaine was
yeah.
snorted out of that bathroom. I mean, because you got to figure you're talking Cannonball Run was done in the 70s. Imagine the partying that was done.
Yeah, I'm sure it was wild times.
I mean, you Mel Tillis, Terry Bradshaw,
Don DeLuise.
Yeah, Don DeLuise. Think of all these cats that were partying, and Cannonball Run, was at that house.
Oh gosh, yeah. And
now it's a church, right?
It probably needs to be. The Stuntman movie, what was it? Hooper, yeah, that was a good movie. I love that movie.
Yeah,
that was
cool. So it's just kind of cool when you think back to all
that.
Had
how damn it,
Halloween.
No, how the Stuntman, Mel
Tillis.
No,
you're talking about the dude that did Airwolf later on. I don't know his name.
Michael
he was the one that jumped. No, he was the one that jumped out of the Peachtree Plaza.
I don't know, Stephanie.
How? Damn it.
Either way, what about it?
Travis, what would Travis say? You know his name.
What about it, Stephanie?
Him there.
So you're just naming
with Burt Reynolds.
That's all you had to say is the other guy. I can't remember his name. Partied there.
Remember Sharky's Machine?
Yes.
Yeah, he was badass in that.
Yeah.
And then he did another movie where he was teaching some young guy. Some young guy paid him a bunch of money to teach him how to be a badass, basically. But the thing is he didn't use guns. He used edges,
right.
Like credit card edge or a edge of his hand or something. So
really, that's funny. I'd have to see that because I don't know.
You've never seen that movie?
No. I was dying laughing because the other day the stupid one that everybody says they watched. Sure got a pretty mouth one.
Deliverance.
Yeah. I saw the TV. I was flipping channels and it was on. And I stopped for a second and I'm looking at Burt Reynolds standing there dressed the way he was. And I went, how did people think that was hot back then? Here he is set up purposely, mind you, with a vest on, no shirt, the zipper's halfway down. Yeah. He's got on some green pants that were way too tight. His package all blah. I'm like, why did women find that hot back then?
Why did you look?
It was on my TV and the camera angle. The bottom of the screen was at his junk, and the top of the screen was at his bald spot on his head.
Now, do you wonder why he's always looking at Joe?
No, I couldn't help it. It was on the TV.
Joe's not on the TV.
Stephanie, you're an idiot.
Stop!
We're going to a commercial, you guys. We'll be right back. It's just for fun in the morning.
Damn it, man.
Shoot, he's done so many freaking movies.
Oh,
he was born in 1936, man.
Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, he's old.
80 years old.
Mm-hmm. He's very old. He's older than Dirt. Twice.
Really?
I didn't know he had a kid with Lonnie.
Yeah. That's why she got.
Can you
That's why he
believe
got
they
bankrupt.
Huh?
That's why he became bankrupt, having to pay her all that child support.
Can you believe that he just got finished paying her all her alimony and stuff too?
Yeah. Because she took him through the cleaners.
That bitch knew what she was doing. God, look at all these movies.
Yeah, we met her once at Walmart. I mean, not Walmart, but Kmart that my mama worked at. She came in there with her fur coat and all her security guards.
The Longest Yard was awesome.
Oh, that was a good movie.
There's the
I even like the Adam Sandler one.
Yeah, that
Hal Needham. That's it. Hal Needham.
Hal Needham.
Yeah, look him up. He's the best stuntman.
You know, in Hooper, that was still one of the greatest stunts ever done, man. They still talk about that.
Yeah, the jumping of the bridge.
Yeah, man.
Jumping
Because now everything's CGI.
Jumping on the bridge and the guy that jumped out of the helicopter.
That bridge jump is probably one of the always most memorable.
Yeah, I got to see the remnants of it because they did it over there, right there in Alabama.
I got not Cannonball Run, Smoky and the Bandit was on the other night. I was watching it because they're showing Rita and the park and all that. It's neat watching.
Grounds.
Yeah, it's neat.
Now,
watching.
wasn't the movie Semi-Tough the movie before The Longest Yard?
I don't know.
Because Semi-Tough, he was a young football player and he was becoming popular.
Is it a black and white one?
No.
No. I bet no reason I say that. I kept seeing pictures of him in a football uniform in black and white pictures. So that must have been his actual school pictures. What is that one?
This is
that Chris Christopherson?
yeah. I think this is because him and Chris Christopherson party like hell in this movie, as they're both coming up through the ranks in national football.
I've seen that.
I think
He wore red and white uniform,
orange and white or red and white.
something like that.
That's what's got on here.
I do visualize that.
I think that was the predecessor. Believe it or not, this whole time, all I'm trying to do is find those 2 headshots on top of the house because it is freaking hilarious. That and I wanted to find out what that movie was. That God, this guy is like really young, made his first $1 million before he's like 25. So what he's doing now is he's going out and spending all his money, having great times and learning stuff about the world. So this guy,
Bert's in it?
yeah, Bert's the badass. You know, he's the guy who does bad things in Las Vegas. And this guy gets him and says, hey, I want to pay you a lot of money just to hang out. He's just going to hang out. But the kid accidentally gets killed. And Bert, you know, because Bert's being a badass the whole time.
Is Jan Michael Vincent in it with him?
I don't think so, man, because whatchamacallit, Bert goes up against like this little joke wise guy. Like this dude who thinks he's a badass, you know.
Sounds kind of from.
I'm gonna find it.
Is it? It's not Gator, is it? No, it's not Gator.
No, there was 2 movies for Gator too, wasn't there? There was Gator, and then there was another movie that matched up to Gator.
I don't remember. I do remember Gator, but I don't remember if there was.
You know, Gator might have been the predecessor to The Longest Yard. Because
I was thinking more
look up his IBM.
I'm the man. Believe it or not, IMDb, I love that page and all that other stuff. But now, so many people know about it now, and they've gone to this whole new format. And shit they don't care about old movies now. It's all about the new shit. And they're still pushing movies like Batman and Superman.
Okay, Deliverance was in 72.
Yeah, I remember that, man. I used to camp up there. Tallulah Gorge.
Sharky's White Lightning? No. I think White Lightning and Gator was together. I think.
Yeah.
I think.
Very possible. Very possible. Has anybody seen the new Independence Day? New Tarzan?
Well, both of them are kind of crappy recording.
I know. I'm not gonna watch it.
I don't like
New
it.
Purge?
Crappy recording.
Shallows.
No, but people here want to watch it.
Seamus, maybe? Is that
Because the 4 movies
Mike?
that are bad copies right now is the Now You See Me Part 2.
Is that any good?
Well, no, it's a bad copy. I refuse to watch bad copies.
Hello?
You're not going to be here anymore?
Y'all
We gotta find somebody.
The Mechanic Resurrection?
Seamus, does that sound? Because it's got him.
Is he wearing like a gold Vegas jacket type thing?
Well, he's shirtless on the.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I just yawned like that.
He's shirtless on the cover.
Oh, we got 30 minutes left.
Hustle.
It could be.
And we're back.
We're back. We're going over Burt Reynolds' old movies.
There's so many. Jeez, man, the dude's crazy.
Let's see, his first one.
It's sad. I mean, you know, you don't think about eventually when people pass away and they get old.
Did he die?
No.
And don't be jinxing him.
Shut up, Stephanie. My point was, you don't think about, you know, these guys that we are so iconic to us that we've always watched these movies, and then you see, like Fast and Loud, they built a TA and took it to him to get him to autograph the glove box, and you see this frail, you know, old guy come out to the mailbox, and it was just sad because that's not the guy that you know. You know, you still remember the from Smoking the Bandit. You don't picture any other guy. That's the guy you know.
Yeah, that's Travis's man crush. So, you know.
Same thing with Archer. Do you know he's done 180
He never had a mullet.
movies?
Who? Burt Reynolds?
Burt Reynolds has done 180 movies.
Yeah, his first
Wow.
one,
That's
it looks
freaking crazy.
like 1961 Armored Command.
Never even heard. I gotta go look it up now on Kodai. Oh,
You know
wow.
what's sad is he's done that many movies and he doesn't have the money that people like Angelina has that's only
Right.
done
He does.
a third of what he's done. That just shows how overpaid these people are nowadays.
He did a lot of TV shows. He really
Yes.
did, man. He did a lot of them I've never heard of. Flight, Lawless Years, Schlitz Playhouse, Pony Express, M Squad, Riverboat, another one called Playhouse. That was
Gun-
big, in the 60s. You know,
Gunsmoke.
He did he do some Gunsmoke? He did some Alfred Hitchcock. Johnny Ringo. You ever heard of that?
That sounds Johnny Ringo is
I've never even heard of it.
what was that?
It was a TV show in 1959.
Okay, because Johnny Ringo was part of the OK Corral is why I was asking.
It's black and white. So, yeah. All right, let's see. Alfred Hitchcock, Zane Grey, the Brothers Branagh,
B.L.
Brannigan.
Stryker.
the Blue Angels, 1960. His name was Chuck Corman. This is awesome. Ripcord, 1961.
And look, Brett just said the thing that I remember the most that I'll ever remember of Burt Reynolds. He said the worst vision I have of Burt Reynolds is when he was rubbing himself down with Vaseline in a movie striptease.
Yeah.
I will never get past that in them cowboy boots.
Yeah.
Oh, that movie was awesome
Demi,
because at least I laughed my butt off.
Demi was hot though.
Yeah, she was, but she
Man.
couldn't it doesn't matter how much she popped her boobs out. She wasn't going to overshine Burt Reynolds and some Vaseline. That will forever be remembered.
I know. That's what I'm trying to get over it. I'm trying to change the story because it was he was just it was all squishy.
Oh my God! So what else do we got going on other than Burt Reynolds?
Man,
we went all down the rabbit hole with Burt Reynolds.
All right, there's a movie that Burt was in. Like I
And we're
said,
still
I'm
going.
still looking for it. I'm going to go nuts until I find it. And he was some.
Don't you just hate that?
Oh, it'll be stuck in my head.
All right, we'll try to find it after the show. We're down to 28 minutes to try to
I've got 28
waste
minutes
28 minutes of people's
I've
lives.
got about 28 minutes to find this damn movie.
I'm
Man,
trying to-
scrolling through all these movies is like scrolling through your life.
Can y'all
Well,
believe that
it's-
Finding Dora or whatever that
Dory.
whatever, man,
Yeah.
that thing is making as much money as it is.
Yeah. big
It's
time.
a cute little movie. We watched it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but good Lord, who would have ever thought that movie would be outshining the other movies?
Well, look at how much
You know,
Finding Nemo made.
yeah, and still making money.
Well, yeah.
When you see these movies, The Legend of Tarzan, Independence Day, of course for the kids, Finding Dory, The Purge for psychopaths like me, and then
I
of course,
want to see that so bad. Go
and then
ahead,
of
though.
course you got
I
the
wanna
little
see it too.
animated stuff like Dory, The Secret Life of Pets and Suicide Squad, junk like that.
and
Yeah,
Yeah,
damn it.
that one.
yeah, I agree.
Timothy McVeigh, what?
Timothy McVeigh, isn't that the guy that blew up the?
Yeah, but that's our redneck friends. I mean,
No, not my
Well,
redneck friend.
Can we
Damn it,
get
the
back to
Ice Age,
movies?
the new Ice Age movie. There's a
Oh.
new Ice Age coming out too.
Okay. So what I was kind of getting at is, you got these huge blockbusters, man, Star Trek, the new Ghostbusters, all that other stuff. And then somebody comes out with a movie called Me Before You. Why would you spend millions of dollars to have a little relationship video in this day and age?
I don't know.
It is so played out, It
Yeah,
is
but
just-
some of these movies, like the guy that wrote Choices and The Notebook, those cats, they're putting out some
Nicholas
good stuff.
Sparks.
Yeah, man.
Listen to this. Me Before You, 2016. A girl in a small town forms an unlikely bond with a recently paralyzed man she's taking care of.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
You're literally seriously, because for me and my kids to go watch a movie, I'm spilling out a C note. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Once you get everybody together, you got to feed a little bit. You know, we all go to Walmart and grab our dollar candies, but then you go in there, yeah, and then some knucklehead kid is always going to go, I want popcorn, and
hey, I just got Boogie Nights. Burt Reynolds was in that too. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, yeah.
I actually wanted to watch Boogie Nights again. We were talking about that the other night.
So yeah, you got this, and then it gets an IMDb score of 7.6. Who watches these movies? I mean,
a chick flick.
I know, but God, do chicks go to the movies by themselves or in groups? Do they have a
girls go like Magic Mike when that came out, man. My wife and Krista Miller and some other people did a movie night.
Were they screaming and yelling?
With 50 Shades
Twilight, when Twilight came out, and 50 Shades was the same way.
Were the women, because you know what, working in an adult club, when women customers came in there, they were the worst. They hooted, hollered, touched, and did everything they weren't supposed to do. So when you go to a girls' night out movie like Magic Mike or something, are the women hooting and hollering at the screen and yelling?
I don't know. I've never been.
Really?
Yeah, I've never been.
I couldn't answer because I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Are you the ugly Betty? I mean,
well,
nobody invites you to go?
Uh-uh.
Come on, man. We'll have a girls' night out. You and me. Take Ash.
What would it be? 2 dudes in a movie?
Boom.
Ha ha.
Netflix and 2 hours of sleep if you go see this movie. Jesus.
Look, man, I'm telling you, I watched Alice in Wonderland. I took Emmy to watch Alice in Wonderland, and it's some of the best sleep in a theater I've ever had. And then we watched the part 2 one the other night. That was the best sleep I ever had again.
Man, I tell you, I don't know about you, but if you ever binge watch movies, when I get to Return of the King and the Lord of the Rings series, when I get to that last one, whoo, buddy, I can wake up when they're all heading back to the Shire.
That last one I tried to watch, I slept through that one pretty good too.
I can sleep after the ghost attack. That's it. I'm cutting.
The last couple of Harry Potters was really bad. The last Lords of the Ring that should have been called Lord of the Snooze. Alice in Sleepville. I mean, just wow. Some of these last few movies.
What's this BFG movie?
I don't know, but I'm thinking it stands for big friggin' girly.
No, it's actually Big Friendly Giant is what it stands for. But I've never heard of the storyline or anything. It looks really
animated.
Weird.
Yeah, it's animated all right.
Wow. And Shallows. Have y'all heard about the Shallows?
No.
I saw the previews on it and it looks good.
I just, you know what? It does look good, but it's one of those things where I know about 20 minutes into it, I'm just going to be like, are you really stupid?
That's why I don't like watching those kind of movies anymore. Like,
here's
Mama. That one, Mama.
Oh my gosh.
My wife and daughter like watching those movies, and to me, it's like, what a friggin' waste of time. Ever since the whole Blair Witch Project came out,
that was terrible.
all these stupid movies act like it, and I just can't get into it.
I hate that camera stuff where they're jerking it all out.
I got the BFG is a funny movie, not bad for a movie.
Okay. Oh. Well, the Shallows is a mere 200 yards from shore. The surfer Nancy is attacked by a great white, with her short journey to safety becoming the ultimate contest of wills.
I just got The Secret Life of Pets. I'm pretty excited about.
Yeah, I want to see that. So yeah, The Shallows. Now I know what you're talking about, and I'm talking over that so I don't hear it. So The Shallows.
Stephanie can't just even tolerate that sound.
Travis said that's the new Jaws.
What is?
The
Shallows.
Yeah, and see, that's why we were wanting to watch it, to see what it was all about.
Well,
Can you imagine the graphics that's probably going to be in it?
Isn't that cool when they
special effects?
There's so many people now with drones taking pictures.
Okay, please have your attention. The store will be closing.
Sorry, I just wanted to hit that because I know Mike likes it.
The drones, when people are surfing.
That sounded bad, didn't it?
They got the drones right there with them now, and they're starting to see all the sharks in the water around these people that have been surfing.
And this is The Shallow?
No, I'm talking about in real life.
Oh.
In real life now, because those big wave competitions, I love watching them. You can get them on Roku and stuff like that. But you watch these big wave competitions and they're, 40-foot waves these guys are surfing on. They got to be pulled in by a jet ski.
Right.
But there's drones all over it now. Filming
Okay,
them.
so you're getting that straight down view. Is what
You're getting that
saying.
straight down view, and
I'd
the
like
guy
to
goes
see some of those. I
by.
haven't seen how. At the end of the show, tell me how to find it. We'll pull it up on YouTube.
Get this: the guy will go that way, and the wave goes, but the drone is still out there, and this is what you see in the water.
Y'all,
It's like,
Are you
oh
sure
my
it's
god!
a shark and
but
not
do you
a
remember the
dolphin?
story I've told? We were down in Daytona, and I was trying to teach Robert, a friend of mine, how to body surf in those waves. And as the wave was getting taller, the water at our knees were going lower. So about the time the water hit our shins where we could really run, we look back and there's a 10-foot wave with this huge fish swimming up trying to get away. So I take off running. Robert takes off running. Because in my mind, if this fish is hauling ass, it's hauling ass from something trying to eat it.
Yeah.
And if the fish was bigger than my body, that means whatever was chasing it was bigger than it.
Yeah.
I don't need whatever's chasing that fish to mistake me as that fish. That's the thing about the ocean. Them things in them oceans, they like to eat other things in them oceans.
And it's
Yeah.
like you're serving it up.
That's right.
Yeah, because we were watching.
Tall, fat, white guy. Order up!
Yep. And real quick, just kind of showing you what it looks like from the drone.
Oh, yeah. So I want
Now,
to pull that
look,
up.
you see that dark spot?
Yeah,
It's a
man.
shark.
How did you search that?
The best thing to do is just go to I always look up surfers and sharks drone, and you'll just get tons of them.
Okay.
And there's attacks that have been caught on drone and everything else. And oh man, I tell you what, you know what? Did you see that thing? I know we're kind of getting off topic a
It's
little
not how
bit.
you spell surfers.
Hey, thanks, Redneck. Did you realize that the U and the I are side by side? And when you're
No.
looking at the computer screen, I sure love how
No,
you.
Mr. Dyslexic.
I sure love. Hey, can I tell you something? I'm dyslexic, so I actually have a reason for being this screwed up. You are this screwed up by choice, Stephanie.
It's not
What
my
would-
choice.
What would Travis say? Oh, we know what Travis said. Hand me another beer.
Yeah.
You ain't bleeding, you ain't hurt. Get a
So
beer.
what would we call this, surfer? What?
Surfer and shark drone. And just type drone out.
I was looking to see if it just pulled one up.
I know,
Surfer
just type
caught
a
on
D.
tight.
Just put a D right there. I bet you it'll.
Nope. Oh, there we
Surfer
go.
dr-
Surfer drone shark.
Different
I
than the
don't-
way it comes up for me, but there it
Hey,
is.
I
there
don't
it is,
need to know
there it
how
is,
it
there
comes
it
up
is,
for you.
There you
So.
go. There you go.
to the-
Yeah, look at this.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at this.
Yeah,
when
look
the
at the
show's
third
over.
one down, man. We'll
Yeah,
trip you out.
I'm gonna pull some of those up as soon as the show's over.
And did you see that video of the guys that went diving and the largest great white shark ever recorded showed up?
No,
This thing looks like it could eat a
Where'd you see this
VW. This was actually on the news, but you can type that into YouTube too. Is
and say what?
largest great white shark. There it is, ever recorded. This will freak. It's right down there, the third one down.
This one?
It will third biggest.
Well, okay, I see it right there. Hold on, I'm
It
gonna
will
I'm gonna
freak
shoot it over so the
you
people on
out.
YouTube.
And now
can
you
see this.
guys know I'm like terrified of the ocean when I can't.
We
see
know
the
you're
shore.
terrified against spiders and
Spiders,
snakes. I can
and
only imagine what.
I would go.
Watch
in
this, you
space.
guys. Let's
I
see
would
what
go in
happens.
space in a second, but you ain't.
What if
getting me.
everyone reads here for animal wire? And if you're fond of those fingers and toes you got there, please keep them inside the cage.
This is
It's one of the
crazy.
world's biggest great
Look
whites.
at
is
my
about to
God.
pull
Why
up
would you be
on
out
ya.
of that cage?
Her
Why would
name's
you be
Nicole,
Yeah.
and she has a total length estimated somewhere in the vicinity of 20 feet. That's
Why would
right
you
on
be out of
par
that
with
cage?
any of the sizable monsters ever recorded in the past. Just check out the way she
Look at-
downplays this 22-foot boat. It's incredible, but what's
Oh my
even more so is her
gosh.
weight. That rotundness you're sensing is the consequence of her being heavily pregnant, and she may be
That's what I
carrying as
thought.
many as 10 or more developing
God.
embryos inside. Now, while chances to study gravid specimens such as this one haven't been too plentiful,
Look
you
at
can
this
try
right
and
here.
draw some comparisons
shark
to a
coming
similar
straight
sized
for you.
female caught back in
Screw
2004.
that.
This hulking
Look at
mama was
that.
just a foot or so shy and has that same distending belly. So is it any surprise she was carrying 4 pups? Not so
Aw.
much, but the fact they were all 4.5 feet and each weighed around 65 pounds is pretty crazy, and also gives some insight into how big they grow to at full term, as these suckers are live birthed and must be good to go when they hit the water. Think of all the pampering and nurturing us human babies need. It
Why would
makes
you be
me
in the water
sick.
with that?
But enough on that. Let's get back to Mrs. Blue. It's
Yeah,
believed sharks like her come out to the waters here around Guadalupe Island to feed on
Guadalupe.
seals, which helps them meet the excessive energy demands associated with being pregnant. And by the time her offspring are ready to be delivered, she will have completed an 18-month cycle. Now, all things considered, that's a pretty long gestation period. And when you couple
Yeah.
that with the fact that
Look how
great
big that
whites don't
fish
even
is.
begin reproducing until around the age of 30, you start to understand how sensitive their populations can be to overfishing and thus require a very long time to rebuild. So when shark expert Mauricio Hoyos first laid eyes on Deep Blue, he described a feeling of hope, as he
Yeah.
believes the
I'll pass.
existence of a shark of this size and this age must be an indicator that the collective efforts to protect the species in the area are indeed working. I like to think it's hope too rather than luck, so every year she makes an appearance is a good year in my book. Ah, that got sentimental fast.
Wow.
Once again, thanks for tuning in,
Yeah.
and giddy
Sorry,
up.
I don't do sharks.
I'm still sitting here shaking my head saying, why would you be in that water? There is a perfectly good cage that he needed to be in,
Mhm.
and he's standing on top of the cage when this big bad mother swims by.
Did they say how much the whole animal would estimately weigh?
20, no, they didn't ever
They-
give that.
So
but
20,
it was,
22 feet.
yeah,
right, or something
22.
like that.
Yeah, man.
There, you know how many shark
Mhm.
attacks there have been this year already? It's strange.
It's very strange.
I wonder.
It's the zoo.
Well, do you think it's because? Well, no. I was thinking like because they how
can't
much
just-
fishing they're doing.
Well,
you know?
and I was gonna say the fishing. If you know,
Kitty.
that is so heavily
here we
tracked.
are with rules. The United States has rules and our offshore
Right.
rules for
Yeah.
our citizens.
Yeah.
But then they say China doesn't go by any rules. They just overfish everything.
And that's where we get the majority of our seafood comes from China.
But they say those cats just fish anything anywhere. They don't care.
Yeah. I mean,
They
it's kind
don't
of
have
like
rules.
it was kind of like patents, like and when I mean patents, I'm like closed trademarks or
Mhm.
stuff like that in Korea, because you could be walking down, we call it going down range, and you'd look over and there'd be like members only jackets,
Right.
But they're not members only jackets.
They're not the real ones, of course.
But they look just like, Oakley's, all this stuff, Rolex watches, everything, but because there's no copyright law.
yeah, somebody keeps trying to tag stuff with me and a few other
Yeah.
of my people with the Folkleys, the Fakeleys,
Yeah.
Yeah.
for $25. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, quit tagging me in that crap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When they start tagging me in it, I just delete them.
Me too.
Yeah.
Do you know that they have put tracking devices on sharks, and you can track
Oh
different
yeah,
sharks
yeah,
all
yeah.
over the
You
world?
can pick whatever shark you want.
Isn't that
How funny is it that right here in Conyers, Georgia, I can pick any shark I want
What
and
is-
watch it swim anywhere I want in the world.
how many
Mm-hmm.
millions of dollars did they spend putting that together?
Yeah.
Fraud, waste, and abuse.
And
man.
we
That really
can't
shows
track
us on that.
FBI's most wanted.
Or look on today on the news, they were trying to identify that little boy. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Oh,
There's a
yeah.
little boy
Oh,
walking
they
down
finally
138.
said that they identified him.
How about this? I heard something over something yesterday, and I can't stop laughing about it. She called CNN the Clinton News Network because they're talking about how powerful and stupid the Clintons are and how they get away with this and how they get that and how they can make the media do anything they want the media to do. So they called CNN the Clinton News Network.
Man,
That's funny.
I'm telling you,
Isn't it? That made me giggle.
I can post something right now about Hillary Clinton saying something or doing something, and there are these people that will come back at me, and like the email thing. One guy continuously tells me, enough is enough. They've spent millions of dollars. Just leave it alone. Let it go. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? In the beginning, yeah, they had the first Senate hearing and she lied her butt off. But now the FBI, the director of the FBI, is saying she broke the law and all this other stuff. And this guy will still say, just let it go.
Isn't that something?
And it's like,
hey, I got to back up for just a second. They say on average, if you've been in the ocean up to your belly button or chest, you have had a shark swim within 10 feet of you.
Yeah, that just gave me
I remember being
chills.
at Mexico Beach when me and my baby's mama we got on a raft, and I don't know what happened, but we were holding hands, both of us on different rafts, and we floated out. And I guess we both kind of dozed off, but we woke up to and it was some splashing, and it was a dolphin or porpoise that came up between the two of us, and we realized the tide was going out, and we were like several hundred feet off of the beach, and we were down a lot further than where we had started too, as far as left to right. And we started paddling, freaking out because the dolphin or porpoise scared the hell out of us, but it swam with us back to where we were closer to shallow water, because I was kind of freaked out thinking if this puppy's out here, that means there's some sharks somewhere too.
Well, they say if you have a porpoise around, that there's no sharks around, that a porpoise.
I got you. My point was if I'm out in water deep enough that there was a porpoise there, that means there could have been a shark there.
Oh yeah, but I mean,
I understand. That's why I said it was really cool that it swam with us back.
Yeah, it was protecting y'all.
Yeah, my luck is I'm gonna get a wimpy dolphin. Okay, and the shark's gonna show up.
Somebody's gonna like flip her down the beach, and he's leaving.
I'm gonna be like, help me, bottlenose him, and the dolphin's gonna go. That's why I'm swimming with you. Help me.
I'm escaping the tuna net.
Just my luck. Yeah.
But that scared the living halo out of us.
Oh yeah,
I ain't doing it.
I mean, my summer's growing up because
you're on this piece of crap $2 Dollar General raft, and you're trying to paddle back in, and every video I've ever seen is when you're splashing, you look like a seal. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
See, Mike's got it. That's the first thing I'm thinking is I look like a freaking
appetizer
seal.
written on there.
Here, eat me.
Oh, you scared me.
So,
what a straight pretty white girl comes into the room and scares you?
I didn't hear her come in, and I look over
because you have headphones on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you can't see with those headphones on.
Hey, you wasted good money on buying these two something to eat. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, man. Thank you. Now you worked. She worked all night.
She worked all night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, I tell you,
I got a good woman right there now.
You do indeed. You do.
Everybody's just waiting on me to die.
Absolutely.
Yes, they are.
And we were discussing life insurance policies over the weekend too.
Good. The days,
it's
still early.
How about this, Mike? How do you feel about this? Honestly, I want your opinion. And you're not married, and Stephanie is. Of course, Stephanie, I already know what her answer will be. I told my wife, I said, when I die,
right,
I want you to have me cremated.
Same here.
Because why spend $10,000 to bury me when you can pay $1,000 to have me cremated?
Yeah.
And you can look out the window and think of me looking at that lake,
right,
or that microphone on that shelf, just like you could if you went to a tombstone. But why spend all that money? I said, I would rather you take the money and go on a cruise. And she's like, oh my God, you think I would just go on a cruise? I said, you're going to need to do something to get your life back together. I don't want you to not live. She's like, oh my God, how strange is this? You just told me throw you in the air as dirt and go on a cruise. And she's like, is that what you're going to do to me? No, honey, I didn't mean it like that. I just don't want you sitting around moping. I would rather you take $2,000 and go on a cruise and take $8,000 and put away for the baby, the grandkids, my daughter, buy Emmy a car. Don't spend money trying to bury me when Emmy needs a car.
I think it's ridiculous.
It's funny that you.
So hold on. So what would you do?
Well,
if say you had somebody die and leave you life insurance, what would your plan be?
You're talking about if somebody left me money?
Like if I died and left you $100,000, how would you bury me?
Well,
or what would your plans be?
I think you said that you wanted to be cremated. Mm-hmm. And I would obviously get with everybody and try to keep Just for Fun radio going. I'd probably spend a lot of it towards that.
Okay, it made a very good conversation.
I have very few. I don't have a lot of possessions. They're mainly just gadgets and stuff. I learned my lesson.
You know what I'd say? I'd say put me in a Dixie cup. Take that drone you've got. Fly over that lake and just drop me right in the center of that lake.
I too, and now I carry a tremendous amount of insurance on my ex-wife.
Right.
It's a policy that we both agreed on, and we've had it for years and years and years. Basically, mine's at like $500,000, and hers is just below that.
I wish younger I would have started one to have that kind of money.
Yeah, because it's so cheap.
Yeah. When you're younger and your health's good, it's really cheap.
And of course it's term life. I don't believe in really the other insurances. That's a whole different show, but I don't think it works for me.
Right.
But if let's say it was huge money, like millions of dollars and stuff like that, I think put a little bit away for everybody,
Right.
but for the most part, I'd probably just start writing checks.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd probably just say,
Yeah.
Steph, what do you need? That kind of stuff.
Right.
No, I was just gonna say that
You'd have to do to
it's-
her what I said I'd do to you and put her on an allowance.
What would Travis do?
That's right.
I was just gonna say that it's funny that you bring this up because we actually had a conversation over the weekend with a family friend that his wife died roughly about 3 months ago. He's already sold her van, sold the house, and is dating. And he said that there's a
Wow.
yeah.
Like she had cancer or something for
Yes,
a long time.
she-
So he was okay. In other words, he had already come to grips with it.
Yes, yeah, and he stuck by her.
No,
know,
I
and
got
she-
you, but that means he already knew it was coming.
I had,
Oh, yeah,
I had the
'cause-
exact same situation with my friend Jason.
yeah, I mean, she was.
But you
on
can't
a-
expect them to be alone either. My stepmom, after my dad died, she was alone for a minute.
Mhm.
And then when she met somebody, everybody was kind of like, oh my God. And I'm like, what do you expect her just to, do you just expect her to sit here? And they're like, well, I just think, I said, okay, so if it was you, would you just want to sit there? Well,
Right.
no. Well, if you wouldn't sit there, then why do you think she's supposed to sit there?
And that's what Travis told him. He said,
Nobody wants to be alone.
You've been taking care of her,
But
for-
Alex,
you've been taking care of her,
I'm joking.
For all these years because she'd been bedridden.
Right.
And he told him, and plus you were used to, even though she was in the hospital bed and
Right.
couldn't
I
do
got
too much.
you.
You were used to somebody being there. And Travis said, don't, it's your life. Don't let
You do what you want.
and that's the same way that I feel because I mean
Or
my
you ask
grandmother-
Travis.
Yeah. My grandmother died. My grandmother died in May of 92. By October of 92, my grandfather was remarried. So I mean
it is strange
was
to some,
odd.
but doesn't mean strange to all.
I mean, yeah, because it was odd and it hurt because it did take some getting used to because we felt like, well, he's just forgot all about grandma. But then, we
Did you stop living?
no, we didn't.
Then why should he?
Exactly. And
Because
he
after they're
warned-
buried, how many people leave a funeral and just forget all about that sad person?
Yeah, and he mourned her. I mean, there was days where, it was all he could do to get up in the morning.
Right. I got you.
And when he did get remarried, it was great. I mean, it brought like a new life back into him. And if something happened to me and that's what Travis has to do, then by all means do it.
Well, we don't know that that's what Travis has to do, but we can always ask him what we should do.
Well, he's gonna have to have somebody to take care of Ashley. I mean, that's a given.
Well, that just really would depend on all the situations.
Yeah.
Not to paint a negative, but we don't know why something with you would happen.
That's true. And don't say she might be with me, but I mean I didn't
want to say it, but I'm just
but
saying.
I mean that is the truth. I mean, if I was to have a car wreck,
Oh, wow. Come on now.
I'm just saying she is with me a lot more than she is with Travis. And that is that is a thought. But so tomorrow, Tuesday, July 12th, at your Chick-fil-A restaurants, it's Cow Appreciation Day. Chick-fil-A restaurants will give a free entree to anyone wearing.
Man, why didn't I have my sound effect ready? Hold on. There's the
you can
sound
barely
effects.
hear it.
Yeah, but everybody on the radio app's hearing it.
Oh, okay. Chick-fil-A restaurants will give a free entree to anyone wearing anything cow-like. Guests in cow
So you going
attire-
there tomorrow?
Leather?
I don't know. Oh, leather is cow-like.
I just
Leather is
figure you could just dress like that.
bite me. You're drunk.
Mike almost choked on his biscuit.
Guests in cow attire may select any breakfast, lunch, or dinner entree.
Man.
Kids dressed like a cow may select a kid's
Stop
meal.
for a second. When
Okay.
is this?
Tomorrow,
What time?
all day long.
After the show, you and I need to go there. I don't know what we cow like can do. Are we gonna walk in mooing? I have no idea.
I do know. Cow Appreciation Day is the one day where it's okay to dress utterly crazy and get rewarded for it. Said John Bridges, Chick-fil-A.
Too bad we can't go find 2 big cow outfits from like Party City with the udders and everything.
That's
Mike.
funny.
Mike's giggling, but he's not saying
He's
nothing.
choking. You got him choking.
Have you ever seen the costume where it's got the udders?
That's
I was
what he's
thinking-
talking about.
That's what I was talking about.
I'm looking it up.
Can you imagine the picture of somebody sipping from the udder?
No,
Wow.
that is bad.
Cow porn.
You're bad. You are bad.
Oh my God, it would make a horrible picture. And you would have to do it at Chick-fil-A in front of everybody.
So instead of cow
no.
tipping, it'd be cow sipping.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my god.
Hey,
Oh my god.
somebody had to thought of it a long time ago.
So are we, yeah, because whoever looked at that the first time and said, hey, I want to get a sip of that.
I don't know. Yeah, I know.
Because that's where all that milk came from. All right, you guys, we're at 10 o'clock.
All right, hey, we moved The World According to Mike. It's on Monday nights now. So
I mean, you're coming back tonight?
I'll be back a couple hours. We got Herman Talmadge III on with us tonight. And if you haven't received an invitation, Just for Fun Radio will be OFOing. You can figure out what that means. On Friday night, we'll be at the Social House. This
Do and make sure.
very good.
Oh, you already did it? Okay,
Very good. I got a 7-minute set.
Good.
So
7 minutes. What are you going to do with the other 4?
I don't know. So I guess masturbating is that.
Oh.
So,
Real quick before we get out of here, I just got this from a
Yeah.
listener. 58-cent pancakes from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. at IHOP tomorrow.
Oh, cool. 58 cents.
58 cents.
A pancake.
I guess yes. 58 cents a bit because it.
I
just
got
says,
$2. How many pancakes can I get?
It just
Say
says
58 cents a piece.
yeah, it just says 58-cent pancakes.
It'd be like Chris Rock. Ooh, that's too much. How about I give you 13 cents and you chew some and spit it in my mouth?
burn me to the ground and use my ashes for coffee. Make
All right,
coffee.
we out, everybody. Have a great day.
Hey, Tuesday night.
So
is-
Monday night's you.
Monday night's me. This is a new
Tuesday's-
lineup.
Tuesday's Tech Talk.
Tuesday's Tech Talk with Xander back. Wednesday is now the Rough Edge.
The Rough
with,
Edge.
The Roughage with the guru of music. That'd be Jacob. Remote transmission from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Then Thursday night, back on the air, DJ Smiles and Ladies Talk.
With me, the redneck, and we're looking for a third.
Looking for a turd.
Yep.
For a third.
Third.
That's
And
right.
No men allowed.
Yep, no men allowed.
Stephanie's
We-
closest thing to a man allowed in that room.
God, that-
We talk about everything that the ladies want
No
to talk
hairy
about.
chest allowed other than Stephanie.
Hey, I don't have a hairy chest. And I'm getting
Waxed again?
it is a short stack of pancakes. So I guess that's the whole stack of pancakes is 58 cents.
It's a short stack.
What's a
Yeah,
short?
it's a
A short stack is what?
Never
3.
mind. I don't
I don't
know.
know.
Everybody. All right, look, we got to get out of here. Everybody, have a great day. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
See you tonight.
Well, some of us, hey, we need a guest tomorrow. Anybody wants to come sit in on the show tomorrow, reach out to us. Let us know.
Yeah, I'll be
Need a
back
guest.
Wednesday.
Need a guest.
I got a few things I got to
Need a
handle
guest.
tomorrow.
Need a guest.
Need a guest.
So hopefully tomorrow somebody will want to come in. We need a guest. We'll see y'all
Need
later.
a guest. Need
Bye.
a guest. Need a guest.
Everybody say bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Got to go pee. Bye, you guys on video. I'm sure you wanted to hear me say I got to go pee. Huh?
Yeah, right in the microphone.
Yeah, man. See y'all later.
Bye, you guys on video.
Bye, you guys.